jungle, we united now. Tripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, bingo bottle, never stop it. To the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossin' on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite.
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. It's Monday. Mondays are something.
We got a case of Mondays.
You look forward to free agency, and it's like, all right, man, I'm totally going to be on Twitter almost all day. And then Twitter just decides to go down, and it's still apparently going down or not letting us connect show-wise. So if you're here, it's probably not through Twitter. So that's why I always say YouTube is usually the clutch one. If YouTube isn't working, we're not going to be on. I mean, that's just how it goes.
I'll be damned.
Nah, we're not in shambles, Tyler Kelly. You got DK Metcalf. You got 2 head cases. Good luck, brother.
Yeah, good luck with that. And plus, you got
40-year-old Darius Slay. Did you guys pick up 40-year-old Darius Slay?
Yep.
Because that works out for you guys.
Oh, my God.
Please, he's fine.
God.
It's fine. The Steelers have done fine.
The
Bengals have done very little. BJ Hill re-signed to recap the fascinating Bengals moves. BJ Hill re-signed 3 years, $33 million. He's going to get a lot of that early, $16 million guaranteed. They're going to front load it like they do everything because they have no urgency to have a Super Bowl window and push chips in 1 year. So whatever. Samaje Perine, boys, 2 years, $3.8 million. I mean, whatever, right? He's a guy, just like we said, if we brought Khalil Herbert back, shouldn't keep you from getting like another running back in the draft in an absolutely loaded draft class.
And also, we get to hear Jeff say Samaje every fucking week from now on. Again, I love it.
By the way, also, for those of you that were confused, Aaron Wilson, who was it that came out with a tweet that he originally signed 3 years, $21 million with the Buccaneers, and we're like, whoa, that's a lot right there. But then all of a sudden you see a report that he signed back with the Bengals, so there was a miscommunication at one point. So, yes, Samaje is back with the Bengals for 2 years. Was it $8 million, I think it was?
Yeah, like 2 years up to 3.8. So you're talking minimal ass money. It's honestly irrelevant. Whatever. You got to build a roster. I don't have an issue with it. It doesn't move the needle. BJ Hill didn't move the needle. BJ Hill's a good, solid player. Cool. He's back. Now, what are we going to do to improve? Because right now we don't have an extension for Trey. He's on the trade market. Our D-line needs improvements, not just status quo. Larry O got released. Do they go back to that and see if they can re-get the magic of B.J. Hill and Larry O as a 1-2 punch? Who knows? It would be a move they do, Matt, because you're right. Retreading. Again, I don't have an issue because we were going to bring Herbert back, whatever, like Travion Williams. Our running back room was bare. So, like, the signing in and of itself, it's fine. Yeah. You know, he's probably a third running back in an ideal world, and you still draft somebody that can be your number 2 running back, you know, whether that's this year or next year or whatever. But Perine shouldn't be getting a ton of snaps. He's not going to be taking away from Chase Brown. He's brought in here, hey, get your ass in there and block. We're going to count on you. If we need you, we're going to catch passes from you. But Patrick McCarry has also signed on the guard market up to $39 million. So it's $13 million per year. And then so did Aaron Banks. So there hadn't been much movement on the guard market. And both of those guys just went off the board for real big money. So
Aaron Banks just signed 4 years, $77 million.
Yeah. And the guy was not a good pass blocker. So that's one reason that we weren't like, oh, that's a guy I want. But, I mean, he just got an absolute fucked up. That's not good for the Bengals, right? Because when we see the guard market start to get set now and you see these guys start flying off the board, you get down to scraps real quick. And you have to improve at guard. I mean, Cody Ford, we brought him back too since we've done a show. It's fine. We saw the money. It was fine. It's 2 years, $6 million, basically. Whatever. It's 1 year. He's a backup. He competes for a job with a rookie, ideally. But you still need to sign another guy to be your starter, preferably at right guard. I don't know. We've talked about a Kevin Zeitler. He's still out there. You know, can you get him
Yes.
for the 1 year, not crazy money like these top of the market guys are getting? Because Makari's the guy we like, but now he's gone. $13 million a year. The Bengals were never probably even fucking considering that. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You said Kevin Zeitler. I'm just looking at that SPO track, and I don't even see Kevin Zeitler listed as a free agent right now at guard, right?
He has been.
Yeah, but Dale, the money that Bakari got 13, Jenkins, it's safe to say he's going to get more than that, right? Because he's still young and
Tevin Jenkins, should get a big contract now with these two off the board. I mean, him and Will Fries, I guess it is Fries.
Yeah, right.
I want to say Fries because I just
Listen,
wouldn't think
I've heard people in the media say it's pronounced Freeze, and then I also heard last night Malik say it's pronounced Fries. And I'm
I don't honestly.
okay.
I don't give a shit because most likely he's not going to be a Bengal. If he's a Bengal, we'll worry about how his name's pronounced.
Yeah.
Till then, who gives a flying fuck? Is my opinion. He's coming off an injury, but he's young, up and coming. He's gotten better every year he was with the Colts. So I would like the signing, just on its own, but I'm not counting on it. I'm certainly not counting on a Tevin Jenkins. I'm not counting on us to go get one of these next couple top of the market guards. It's going to be somebody less than that, in my opinion. So, Greg, you're an eternal optimist here. How excited are you?
Why do you have to do this to me?
Yeah, cheer me up, Greg.
Cheer us up, Greg.
Cheer us up, man.
Well, we're in sports up. You're not going to take me off the screen, are you?
No, I got my hands.
All right, come on, let's cheer up. Let's cheer up. Oh, let's cheer up. Oh, Bengals, please. I am praying. I am praying to the Lord. Help us. That's about it.
Honey, I am Cornholio. I need to be
right. He did look like Cornholio.
Yeah,
I did any of this. It just came to me the last second.
I just happened to look up. I was looking at because I'm trying to keep track of who's still on the market.
As long as we were talking about Tyler Kelly earlier,
list.
and I got the TP for his bunghole right here.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh yeah.
He'll probably love that.
But you know what's a better one than that, Chop?
What is
this
it,
right
Greg?
here that you can get from the ChopShop.com.
Oh.
Proud sponsor of this show. I mean, you know what you can do with it also? Pour some Midwest Best barbecue sauce and drink it from the cup. Another proud
That's
sponsor.
right.
And speaking of which, this Saturday, 3:30 p.m., we're doing a live show. Come out and see us if you could.
Or don't.
That's right. I mean, honestly, even if you can't, just tell them you had diarrhea and leave work.
Yeah.
But
Swing
anyway,
by and pick up some Midwest,
Yeah.
It'll be Rib Weekend.
Dude, pick it up for the family.
Rib
All
Weekend.
right,
also.
so right now it says reconnected back to Twitter, but we'll see how long that lasts because I think it's just going in and out like it has all day. But I got it reconnected for now. So Makari, I just for an update on that 27, like we said, good pass blocker. That's why we liked him. But we want to go back to some of the projections because it's we don't know what guys will get, and the market kind of sets itself with these players, And some will take about what you see, some will take more, and some will honestly end up getting less. But right now, we're still on day one of free agency. So Makari was projected 3 years, basically $21 million, $7 million per year. He got 3 for 39. He got $13 million a year. So based on the projection, the guy got an absolute boatload of money. And I mean, to be honest, he's got left guard, right tackle. He's played a lot of football. So we'll see. But it was also the Jaguars who seem to always be a team that overpays for somebody. Even they might be a decent player, they seem to always pay. It's almost like a Jaguars tax. And I'm not saying maybe the Bengals should do that every now and again too. They only pay for their own mediocre guys. Whatever.
Even some that they sent away, they brought it back.
And Banks was projected to get 3 years, $25 million, and he just got 4 for 77. So you want to talk about the projection was nowhere close. 60 pass block grade. I'm sorry, a 60 pass block grade. There's no way in hell I give that man $77 million. But it's also not my money.
Right.
If
I mean, we're giving them the money to give on our team,
If we look at the edge market now, Josh
Update. Former Packers DT TJ Slayton headed the Bengals 2 years, $15 million.
Yeah, such a meh signing. He was the guy we said will come here because of Jerry Montgomery coached him with the Packers, and he's a mediocre ass run defender. He's a run defender. He gives you nothing in the pass rush. Nothing.
What the hell? Let me tell you, I got excited. You do this.
You sure did get excited. Your nipples almost came out again.
Hey, It's an outside free agent. Hey, it's the one This will be the bottom of the barrel signing they do because of familiarity with the coach they brought in. They're doing nothing to excite me. I'm sorry. I want them to excite me. I'm like, oh, this one's Bengals. I can tell how excited Greg is. And then he says TJ Slayton. And I'm like, that ain't shit, man. Honestly, if I look at the D tackles and on my list of D tackles, he was at the very bottom of it, of people because I put it a little in the order of that I would be excited about. And you can see right before it goes into guards is TJ Slayton.
Oh,
so everybody above that, quite a few guys there, was guys that are still available, by the way. Those are all D tackles that I would have taken over him.
Well, that's just great, Dale. I mean, Dale, I'm rising up, man. I'm risen up, man. It's like the song Rise Up. And now you have me, they sing the song, you had a bad day.
And you said what, 2 years, $15 million?
Yep.
He was projected to get 1 year, $3.8 million.
Are you shitting me?
So we're talking about an overpay. It's a complete overpay. He had 1 sack last year. His run defense, and he's supposed to be a run defender, right? His run defense grade was 45. His pass rush grade was 57. This is what you're spending $15 fucking million on? I'm not going to get excited about bullshit signings. Maybe he's good. Maybe I have to clip this later and go back and eat my own words, right?
Right. Hopefully.
He's great for us. That
I
would love nothing more than that. Here was my crazy overreaction about how dumb this signing was, and then he leads us to the Super Bowl, and he's the absolute stud.
Whoa,
right now, I don't see it.
Wait, time out. Now it says the Jaguars are signing TJ Slayton.
I almost feel better if he goes elsewhere.
Yeah, right.
Wait. What the hell? What the hell's going on here?
It's free agency frenzy.
Packers TJ headed to the Bengals, but then Ari Dove.
The Bengals already made a deal with the Jags.
If you're saying Dove Kleiman, you're probably wrong right there because
the Bengals just traded him to the Jags for an undrafted free agent.
Yeah. Okay,
this
I'm
year.
really confused. Dove.
Yeah, somebody said wrong. It's the Bengals, buddy. And it's Tom Pelissero said Packers TJ Slayton headed to the Bengals. 2 year, $15.1 million.
Slayton. Okay, Dove said it was the Jaguars.
I believe Tom Pelissero over Dove Kleiman. Always check your sources, Greg. Always check your sources.
Hey, I was still right on this one, just at the first part.
Well, you were also very excited about it. I can't be excited about it. But.
Yeah.
You had me risen up, man. I mean, I was risen, man. I saw Bengals, and I got excited, and then you dragged me on my collar and threw me down.
Yeah, they drag you through fucking broken glass into a pile of alcohol and salt.
You know,
I'll say, okay, so this is from a Packers fan that somebody retweeted in January. He's set to hit free agency this year. I'm sure many disagree. So that's already not a good sign. He's saying, I know my own fan base isn't going to agree with me wanting to bring this guy back. But I would like to see him back if his market isn't overpriced.
Great. I just feel so much better.
Far fewer snaps than Kenny Clark. He was playing behind Kenny Clark, so he's never really even been like a starter for them. Kenny Clark playing time was 62.6%. His was 38.4%. So he played, less than half, but he still rotated in. Pressure percentage, though, he had an 8.8 to Kenny Clark's 6.8. So he got a little more pressure from that nose tackle type, zero tech, whatever you want to call it, position. Run stops, Clark 28, Slayton 24. Kenny Clark's a Pro Bowl caliber defensive tackle. So he almost had as many run stops as him.
Yeah.
Playing only 40%, less than 40% of the snaps compared to the other guys 60 plus. So that is a positive for, hey, maybe this guy can really stop the run regardless of his PFF grade. Okay. So that's to put a positive spin on it.
I feel good about it now, Dale.
So he would be switching out with McKinley Jackson, I guess, right?
I mean, we don't know how that's going to work out. McKinley Jackson didn't necessarily look like this run-stopping stud, but as of now, yeah, I mean, Chris Jenkins honestly plays the run, but his body type's just not the same. So I don't know how they're going to rotate those guys, but yeah, I mean, this is but I mean, I'm failing to see how I get excited about this defensive tackle room with TJ Slayton, BJ Hill, McKinley Jackson, and Chris Jenkins as my top 4 right now. Now we still have the draft and stuff, but I would have liked to see something better brought in.
Chuma signing with the Jaguars, offensive lineman. Do you know who he is?
Chuma Doga or some shit?
Yeah. I didn't know if he was on your list too.
No. No, unless honestly, at this point, we're just seeing what guards and edges bring in because there's our we signed 2 D tackles today.
Yeah,
and one of them was here, and he's a solid veteran player. No issue with it.
I wanted
the other
him
one
back.
was just a guy that this Jerry Montgomery, the new D line guy, coached, and it was so easy to connect those dots, and we connected them months ago when we brought this guy in. It was connected, so I'm not overly excited about it. I would have rather had on Wuzurike, Calais Campbell, Tershawn Wharton. Do something to excite me. You know
I guess
Yeah.
the only upside also is he's 27, so maybe they think he's, I don't know, who cares? Dale, from what you just said, Jesus Christ, man, it's like right now with the signings today, it's like saying, here's you some bread and water, be happy.
Yeah.
No, we still take a defensive tackle in the first.
I mean, I guess that's a positive, Dustin, right?
Too.
We like his size.
How big is he?
How big a boy is he?
He's big one, huh?
I don't know, guy. I mean, I wish, I was on here Saturday, all positive, did a draft show yesterday.
I know.
I was fine.
Man,
Now today I'm just like, I'm underwhelmed, you know what I mean?
Dale,
Because I wanted the extensions too, or something worked out with
something like
Trey, so we knew if we needed to look elsewhere.
I think that down at Paycor, they're like leaking out little shit to people about how it's so close. It's so close because everybody just keeps going like it's so close. It's so close. Don't be surprised when you wake up tomorrow and it's T-Sun and all this stuff. And then I wake up and we fucking got some RJP Ryan back and we signed BJ Hill and not shit else. I was underwhelmed. Like you said, I really did expect something.
Well, how many times do we see this? It's like the things that we want to see get done, or the moves we want to see, or even the extensions that we've been wanting to see, and then as a fan base, we'll just get excited over any little thing,
Yeah.
and like, oh, that's well, we're excited because you gave us these breadcrumbs, Oh, we lost DJ Reader, that sucks.
Yeah.
But we got Sheldon Rankins, guys, and then you just
sure
talk
did.
yourself into how much that is going to improve your team. When in reality, what we talked about before that signing was we need to keep DJ and add another pass rusher to pair with BJ Hill, which, by the way, if you look at the other 3 guys on the roster, I'm still wondering who the fuck is that other guy we're pairing with BJ Hill as a pass rusher, because it's not McKinley Jackson, it's not Chris Jenkins, it's not TJ Slate.
Walter Nolan.
Now, Dale, can I give you some positive?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
We need something like
Yeah,
that.
you have to.
Hey,
It's
Dale,
still a big need.
Yes.
Listen, pass rush up the middle is a fucking need for this team. So, I'm sorry, Greg.
Okay. No.
That is
here's
a big
the
old boy right there. 6'4", 330.
Wow.
Well, Dale, can I give you some positive notes here from Dakotas? Slayton led all defensive linemen in ESPN's run stop win weight, suggesting a dominant season against the run, and the Packers' effectiveness stopping the run with Slayton on the field backs up ESPN claims. So that's somewhat positive, right?
Yeah, it's fine. Like I said, he played
we
less
got
than
him-
40. I don't even think you were paying attention when I went through all that, Greg. He was playing less than 40% of the snaps,
Right.
and he had almost as many run stops as Kenny Clark playing, less than 40% compared to his 60 plus.
38%, Dale.
I went through all of that. Yes, thank you,
I
Chuck,
remember.
for listening.
I was so excited.
Excuse
I got
me.
too excited.
Sorry about that.
But I mean, there's a lot of things where he played less that, he
Yeah.
appears to be a good run defender, regardless of that PFF grade, which is why you got to look at the other things like the stops and that. So when I saw that, I shared it because, I mean, that is a spin to make it a little positive.
This signing isn't like exciting. It's a move,
Yeah.
right?
It's like,
Yeah,
Dale,
I mean, and I just think it's an overpay. Like, I thought you could get this guy for much cheaper than an average of 15 and a half. That's almost $8 million per year if it was 16.
well, just think about it. Some of that money could be going to T. Higgins or Jamar Chase right now.
You got to fill out a roster, so you can't just say that about every move. But I understand what you're saying. But yeah, it's like the difference between if you could have got him for even $3 million a year, right? To 1 year, the 1 year $4 million. We're gonna give you 1 year $4 million, but instead you gave him $15 million. You gave him 7.5 at least.
Chris, $20 million a year for Hill and Slayton. Yep. BJ got like 11, right?
Yeah, and honestly, 16 guaranteed. So they probably front loaded the hell out of it, and they can get out of it in 2 or 3 years. So it's honestly probably like a 1 year $16 million deal, and this guy's is probably a 1 year we'll say this is a 1 year, $10 million deal for this guy. Guess what? That's $26 million. You know what that adds up to? The average annual value Milton Williams got with the Patriots. Just saying. And yeah, it's like 26 is crazy, but shit, give me Hill and Slayton or Milton Williams. I would take my chances with Milton Williams and draft me Kenneth Grant in the first round.
Yeah, I think the Patriots were always going to outbid everybody for Milton Williams, though. But it'd been nice to be in the market for it, right?
Yeah, and well, I mean, the team that was really in the market was the Panthers, so they got they got the old move that's pulled on us. We had Warren Sapp, we thought we had before, and then he went to the Buccaneers or the Raiders, one or the other. Raiders, right, from the Buccaneers, and then it was Sean Rogers went from the Lions, and it was reported we had him, and then I was at B-Dubs, then I'm at B-Dubs, and it says, no, he actually goes to the Browns. And his career didn't super pan out, but he was a pretty good player at that time.
What the fuck is going on? I took my glasses off.
I'm going on a shirt strike. I'm going on a strike till something happens. As long as before Dale gets happy, this is what I'm going on right now.
Oh, man, it might be a while. He might not
wear a shirt You're going to get cold tomorrow at work.
No, I'm tired. Bengals, you're watching this. You know, Wildman Walker went up in a billboard and spent the night there for almost a couple of months. Well, I'm doing this right now. I'm not putting this back on till something happens where Dale gets all excited.
I mean, like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I would much rather be wrong and the team be right, and this player's awesome for us. It just seems like a lot of money for a guy that seemed more bottom of the barrel, smaller contract to give a guy like that.
I mean, to be honest, back when we drafted Karras and Kappa, when we got them in free agency, didn't we also think they were kind of meh? Trey was kind of like,
not really. I was excited when we got those two players. Those are starting caliber O-linemen. And then Trey, I've admitted with Trey, and I talked about that on the show I did yesterday with my buddy Newt, who's a Packers fan. I admitted, I was like, I loved Carl Lawson. When we got Trey, I assumed this is a step down.
Yeah, so did I.
And I was completely wrong. It happens. Right. Every now and again, I'm wrong, guys. Every now and then.
Well, no, Dale, I had to put my shirt back on, man.
I do hope I'm wrong. I can't say that enough. It's just, it doesn't move me for that type of money for that guy. Now, I hope he's dominant because now he's a Bengal, right? So
right.
I hope for the best. It's just, I don't know, man. I just think they could be using this money in so many other better ways. But, maybe they're bargain bin shopping, but they're paying more.
I know.
They're not really a bargain. We're paying the money, just not to the players we want to pay them to.
They're going to Goodwill, but they're paying Gucci prices.
Right.
I mean, what are we doing? And honestly, Goodwill's kind of expensive now, to be fair.
Justin, you're right. I think generally people who have high expectations for free agency teams that spend the most. They usually do. Usually a lot of teams, they overspend. It doesn't normally work out well.
And you know what? In hindsight, Slayton could end up being just a guy along with a bunch of other guys. Let's just keep it rolling with a bunch of more guys. Because, Chop, to your point of what you were kind of saying too, we got 5, 6 guys that were all pieces, right? If this guy's a piece of 5, 6, 7, 8 more that help the defense, okay. It might work out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's here. Yeah. So all we can do is hope for the best, right?
Yeah, I'm just
it's not like he's a shit player. It's just it's not the big splash that we wanted, like Milton Williams. You know what I mean? Milton Williams, we all got fucking giant fucking hard-ons right now, except for Tina if she's in the chat, and we're excited as fuck, right? But that shit didn't happen. We got this fucking guy from Green Bay. Fuck's his name?
TJ Slayton.
All right, who's kind of meh, but he's not shit. He's not elite, but he's a good meh rotational piece, and hopefully that's going to work out.
And you can say Jerry Montgomery trusts him, has worked with him, knows what he expects from him in his defensive line, right? So that's positive.
There you go. And also, Wade's right. He's an upgrade from Rankin, especially if he actually plays this year.
I mean, come on, Dale. Come on. Let's get this going, guys. Come on. Man. You know what, Dale? Come on. Come on with me. Dale.
I've given you as much as I can give you, Greg.
There we
Like,
go.
I
want more.
shit on it initially, and I've come around and said the
Tina says
most
she's
positive
here.
stuff I can say.
She's
Dale,
at
come on,
Gentleman.
man. Come on, Dale. Daddy, I want it now.
He's a big body that can stop the run that
There you
Montgomery's
go.
familiar with. You know,
But Dale, he's going to stand around. Think about it, man. Imagine this, man. He's taking up 2 or 3 guys, and someone comes right at him, man. Boom, we got him.
he's
Come on.
also been playing
Greg
behind
Wright.
Kenny Clark, who is a Pro Bowl
Okay.
caliber nose tackle. So
Hey, also, Steve,
playing
hey,
behind
Dale.
Kenny Clark, you hope he's learned quite a bit from
Hey,
him. too.
Dale, Steve Youngby played behind Joe Montana. Look how he turned out.
I wasn't saying it's a bad thing, Greg. I was saying it as a good
Yeah,
thing.
there you go.
He
See,
got to
Dale,
learn.
Dale,
He got to learn behind Kenny Clark.
Dale, I'm helping you, man. I'm helping you. I'm motivating you. I'm smacking you in the face right now. Tell me to snap out of this. We are doing good, man. We ain't done yet, Dale. We are doing good. I am rising up, man. I have risen.
Right. $5 super chat from the CEO.
There we
Dustin.
go.
Says truth, be told big contracts and the human element. Those
I
dudes
like
get
that.
fat
Thank
and
you,
slow.
Dustin.
Look at Roquan Smith. Dude couldn't turn down a crab cake. Well, first of all, I got to defend him on that crab cake shit. Don't ever turn down crab cakes.
Hey, Chop, we agree. I love a good crab cake.
Dude,
Hey,
I know that Dale probably fucking hates them even if they're in a gallon of ketchup. But
Yeah, I never tried one, and I will never try.
oh,
No,
they're so
you know,
good.
Chop, you know what got me to try crab cakes was Wedding Crashers. Watch the movie Wedding
Was
Crashers.
it?
Yeah,
Man, they're
I love Chop. I love crab cakes, man. I hate the Ravens, but I love crab cakes.
I know, man. Like, fuck the Ravens, but I kind of like some of the seafood.
Fuck yeah, man. I would
Uh-oh.
rub that on me all day and all night long, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get Westish first before Tyler Kelly's homer ass about the
Oh,
Steelers.
Jesus.
This one here.
Yeah. If nothing else, TJ Slayton's big ass will keep Joe's seat warm. And then when Joe comes off the field and TJ's going on the field, here's your seat, Joe. It's nice and warm.
There you go. Right.
Another positive.
Yeah. What's Tyler Kelly say here? Let's see. Fields goes to the Jets. Get ready to see discount double check twice a year.
I mean, if you're going to get excited about Rodgers, you just
Oh
hope
my
he's
God.
not what he was last year, right?
I am excited about Rodgers to Pittsburgh.
Oh, me? I am too, Chop.
Please.
I'm not ruling him out from turning back the clock a little bit, but he seemed pretty washed right now.
Man.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But he
right?
caused drama. Look at all the drama that caused Dale.
I mean,
he caused so much
listen,
drama.
he made them go out and fucking give away a shit ton for his number one wide receiver and still couldn't get shit done.
But
Now
what-
he's going to come in there with a fucking locker room with the wide
That's
receivers as
where
a
I was
head
going.
case.
I was going to say, what could possibly go in a locker room wrong in a locker room with George Pickens, DK Metcalf, and Aaron Rodgers? What could possibly go wrong?
Mike Hilton, if I was him, I would just like take a fucking short-term disability. Be like, go get your gallbladder removed and at least miss 5 weeks of the season to get a break.
See, ESPN's got a run stop win rate. And last year, TJ Slayton led the NFL in that run stop
Boom.
win rate.
Look at this.
So,
look at us making.
Maybe he's an
Yeah,
elite
come
run
on, Dale.
stopper. That's
Oh,
Andrew. You got to
There
give
was
Andrew
some of
credit.
this. There was some of this, Dale.
Kevin
He
says
said-
crab cakes are awesome.
Yeah.
They're all going to go in the darkness cave for 4 days. DJ
Well, no.
Metcalf.
Well, no, let
Pickens.
me ask you this, Chop. Could you make a Chop Chop shirt for Slayton, man? You got to go. That's like going to be like, what, 5X or 6X or?
I don't know. He's a big boy. I do go all the way up to 5X on
There
every
we go, man.
shirt. If you're a big fat ass motherfucker, man, you can get a shirt at my shop for $20.
Yeah, we're talking to you, TJ Slayton. Hit it.
That's
hit
right,
us up if
TJ
you want a
Slayton.
shirt.
Right,
I know you're
yes.
watching.
Go and get
Listen.
you a Make Bengals Great Again shirt with your big fat
And-
ass. I got
and if you-
5X up in that bitch and extra small.
And if you ever want to come on the show, I never said anything about this not being nothing but a great signing.
Yes, how great you are, and we'd love to
Phenomenal
celebrate you.
signing, the greatest signing, the best. This is the best signing we've ever had
Whoa,
in all
right.
of America.
Whoa, a big trade going on here. Texas are trading Laramie Tunsil to the Commanders. Whoa, hey, Jaden has himself some
Jesus.
protection.
What the hell are the Texans doing?
Yeah, what the hell?
Because
Yeah,
they
what is
already
it?
had
What
issues
is
with
it?
their line, and then you get rid of your one really good lineman.
That makes no sense at all. But hey, Chop here is very happy for Jaden Daniels right now.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, Commanders have been making some good moves this offseason.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Is Trey next for the Commanders?
Man, see what happens when you sell the team. You get an owner in there that wants to win, and he's making moves. Gets Daniels, Johnny.
Well, no, does that mean the Commanders are out on Trey because they have no more draft capital? I mean, they probably just had to get rid of their 29th pick.
Yeah, I can't imagine they didn't get rid of 29 plus a lot more to get Tunsil. So they're out. Arizona was another team linked, and they signed Sweat. There was another team linked too that to Henderson. Oh, the Bears signed Dayo Adeyingbo. So now it's kind of the Colt, who I think was from the Colts. So now it's like Colts, Lou, and Lou does have guys that he likes. Cam Bynum went to the Colts from the Vikings. Guess what position he plays?
What?
Safety. Lou loves him some safeties. What do the Colts do? Their first move, go out and get a top of the market type safety for Lou. So they could be a team for Trey, but they're going to have to pay multiple ways.
We're still waiting on these connections with Indy because Pratt didn't go anywhere yet, did he? He's the one that he's under contract, but he wanted traded, and we're talking about that. And then the thing is, though, I think I was watching a podcast where there's this really handsome guy talking about how maybe the Bengals are just going to the reason they're like seek a trade so he can see what his value is so that he would come back. You know what I mean? It's kind of looking like maybe he'll be in stripes next year, right?
Yeah, and if they were offering him 23, hold on, Greg. If they were offering him 23, would he be willing to take the 28-30 now, not the 35-40 for Trey? So could you go to 28-30 and make him happy, and it's 2-year extension onto what he has, which the AAV actually lowers because he's on 16 for this year. So that would be actually a great deal, in my opinion, for the Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like this whole time that he's been able to seek a trade. He's been disgruntled, said anything bad. It's almost like he's part of the team. So it's almost like, go see what you're worth and then come back and let's see what goes on, because I think he does want to be here. Go ahead,
Greg. All right, Greg, you got the trade details?
All right, so Commanders just get Tunsil. Oh, just Tunsil.
Just an all-pro left tackle.
Right, exactly. Texans receive second and fourth rounder plus a third rounder this year. So
no first even. Maybe they want to give that first for Trey.
All right, so we're filling with the Commanders.
I got to tell you, man, like if I'm the Commanders, I'm going after an edge rusher before I'm going after a tackle like that because this little skinny bastard can run. Like he's squirrely as fuck, man. And
but you need linemen that can hold up for him to extend plays.
You do, but I'm just saying, like, he's really good at evasion. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what part of that is rushing the passer? I know it stops the sides of the fields. I'm just saying, like, yeah, they got an all-pro left tackle, but at the same time, in my mind, I'm like, even though that's my dude, man, if he gets, and he's skinny, but at the same time, he's really elusive.
Jeremy Chin signed with the Raiders, Dale. I think I know you were kind of high on Chin, weren't you?
A lot of people thought the Commanders would get him back because he had a great year for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a great season. So.
Yeah, I knew you were.
But man, it's very active in free agency. Twitter comes back, the activity picks up even more. Right?
Yeah. Are we on Twitter now? It looks like it's not.
Maybe not. No,
there's no check
I guess
mark.
Not. Yeah, there's no check mark. It's saying go live.
Elon is screwing us today, man.
Yeah.
Like this is like on free agency. Elon,
I know, right?
Elon hates football.
It's like, bro, see, and we don't talk politics, but I don't give a fuck what you're doing with the government.
I don't care.
I need my sports updates.
Yes.
What the hell, buddy?
Elon. Oh, it's back on now. Elon.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Football.
I think it just keeps cutting out. So
I know.
Not going to last long.
But no, so it's
real quick, if you're listening on Twitter, it keeps going out. Flip to YouTube.
Yes, go to YouTube.
Bengals and Brews on YouTube.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no. So take say Washington, they're not going to trade. They don't have the draft capital to trade for Hendrickson. They have the first round pick.
That's what we want though. So if they're pushing, if they're getting a Tunsil, maybe they're going to get a trade. They're pushing it in because they're like, we want to win a fucking Super Bowl in the next 2 to 3 years. And that's something I wish the Bengals would have done more, was go out and been proactive like Joe was on his rookie contract. Yes, they got pieces, but go get a fucking Laramie Tunsil. You know what I'm saying? We got Brown after. We got Brown because he called us. Like, they weren't proactive in getting these guys.
This is true, Tina, that Pratt and BJ Hill are best friends. So maybe the BJ Hill staying here thing might be a little bit of tell. make Pratt a little bit more excited about staying, which I don't care. He can go, really.
Yeah, I hope he does go, but honestly, that the linebacker market was completely picked over yesterday because about 4 or 5 guys just re-signed with their own teams before they even went to the open market, and they all got pretty damn good contracts. A lot of them was getting $15 million per year. Jamie and Sherwood, Nick Bolton, a bunch of those guys got big contracts.
God dang! And did anything happen with Akeem Davis Gaither yet?
No, nothing with Davis Gaither, but that would be something like if the Bengals are going to get rid of Pratt, that's what I said. You'll see him re-sign. If we feel like, okay, we're getting ready to make a trade for Trey, you'll probably see Osai. But Osai could be brought back either way. But I'm just saying, Osai, and he's still out there. He hasn't signed anywhere, so we'll see. But I could certainly see Osai being something. But Chen's now off the board. Do you have contract details on that one yet, Greg?
Yeah, let me see. Just give me a sec if you would.
I'll read his 72 run defense grade, 66, and he went to the Raiders. He's almost 27, 117 tackles, a pick, forced fumble, and 2 sacks last year. So phenomenal season.
2 years over $16 million, including over 75% of it fully guaranteed.
16 total or per?
2-year deal over $16 million. Yeah, it just says 2-year deal over $16 million, including over 75. So that's $8 million per year.
Yeah, that's what we pay. With less than we paid Geno Stone. That's a really good deal for the Raiders. Honestly, he was projected 3 for 22, so it's not crazy off. But we were seeing guys get a lot more.
$3 million sounds crazy off to me.
Well,
that's $3 million a year.
Yeah, but I've seen some guys chop getting like, well, Javon Kinlaw, right? He got 3 years, $45 million. His projection was like 1 year, $5 or $6 million, or two. He got 15 per for 3 years. Like, wild.
Man, this pay in the NFL is just going crazy.
Oh, it is, man. And we're live here, and we were live for Geno Stone. Now we're live for Slate, man. Let's keep
the Browns.
This one turns out better.
The Browns with that Myles Garrett shit. What the fuck, man?
Hey, I'm leaving. Hey, we got money. Oh, I see.
I mean, honestly, they need to do a psychiatric evaluation on the owner of the Browns. That is ridiculous. Like, the worst contract in the NFL history, Deshaun Watson. And then I'm not saying Myles Garrett didn't earn $40 million a year.
Yeah.
But come the fuck on. And not only that, but to tell you the truth, look, I'm going to be 100% honest. I think that the Browns' best move would have been probably to trade Myles Garrett. Unless they get a quarterback this year that can fix the problem, they're not going to win. Myles Garrett's not going to help them win, but he would bring in a lot of trade equity. You know what I'm saying? Like, people would give up the fucking farm for Myles Garrett.
Well, they'd also lose a lot of their fan base, so they don't, and they're already on a tipping point. So, I mean, they just could, I don't know. They didn't want him to go.
God, do you think that they tried to offer him like 35 and he was like, no, 37, no. And then 40, he was like, fine.
Well, I mean, they just have put out a statement. They were not looking to renegotiate a contract. Nothing like that. They just he wanted out. He wanted to go play for a winner. He wanted traded, and that was that.
Last time I heard, they wouldn't talk.
Here's a Brinks truck full of cash.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it. You're right. I'll stay.
They probably, they wouldn't talk, so they probably just had the truck drive to his house, like ring the doorbell, ding dong, spill out fucking $40 million on the porch. Jesus.
Yeah, do not listen to anything Dov Kleiman said. That guy, he's just getting trolled left and right, thinking he's breaking news, and people are just giving him bullshit, and then he's putting it out there, and we're all going, well, that seems like bullshit. And the guy would just run with any bullshit.
So is this Myles Garrett? They're also giving him $10 million every time they get a win?
Well,
is that what he's talking about?
No, they win what? 4 games and it's $40 million per year. So he's getting $10.
All right, man. I'm still getting my caffeine in, waking up.
I mean, because I seen
probably more than that, Kelly.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy. Well, I don't agree with this, Austin. I just think it's hard I think that Myles Garrett really did want to leave, but it's fucking hard. Somebody comes at you and says, hey, we're going to give you $160 million fucking dollars to stay here. It changes your mind.
Yeah. And I don't think he sees life for the contract because it's added on 4 years to 2 he already had. So if they're good, he'll be a part of that reason they're good. Somebody else will have reset the market, and he'll want to be the new top guy before that deal's up, and they'll have to redo it like you see with Max Crosby and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just keep him happy for now. And then, like, if they're bad, guess what he's going to do again in a year or two? He's going to want traded again, and he's going to want out. So they might have to give him another contract if they're bad because they want out. So either way, he's not seeing the life of that 6 year. We just saw it with Von Miller, right? He got this $6 million deal, but really it was 2 or 3, and he was cut after because they were never giving him that. It just looks good. That's not what this is, too.
Myles Garrett.
So everybody's like, "Oh, Trey's price went up because Myles Garrett got 40 per year." He's not really going to see that contract, but Myles Garrett's also just a different animal.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Hey, I just don't know how is Cleveland going to take care of that salary cap.
Kick the can down the road. That's all they've done, and they'll continue to do it. And eventually, it just whatever, right? I mean, Saints did that for years and years and years. And I mean,
can you imagine if Pittsburgh kept Russ and Aaron Rodgers?
That'd be hilarious.
Man, them two talking on the
polar
sideline.
opposites too.
I know. Russ is a fucking tool, and so is Aaron Rodgers. Just
they're both tools. I mean, they would have
in
that
their own
common.
way. Yeah, and Miles fucked this all over. It's not Miles, it's Cleveland. It's not the player. Like, he's just getting what he can, but Cleveland is like really fucking the whole entire NFL over. And they say Mike Brown's like the most hated fucking owner. Well, at least you ain't got to worry about him fucking you over on resetting the market on money. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he's not screwing the rest of the league out because he just gives people this astronomical amounts of money that no one else would give.
I know. Like, the Bengals will never in history, nobody will be like, "Oh my God, the Bengals just reset the market." Oh, of course they will with Chase, but like, that's expected. Like, Myles Garrett, $40 million a year was not expected. Even if they traded him, the next team I didn't think was going to pay that. Maybe 30.
I just can't get back to the Laramie Tunsil. Like, what are the Texans doing? Because all they get for this year is a 3rd round pick. The 2nd and 4th are next year. So that for this year.
But the money,
I guess, but man,
I mean, it has to be
left
right?
tackle when your O-line, like your interior O-line sucked, and
you
now
said
you want to
was-
get rid of your left tackle?
I told you, man. Ohio State quarterbacks don't work out in the NFL. And look, maybe CJ Stroud's good, but the Texans are making it so it's going to be hard for him.
Does Greg also realize he's muted?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'd rock my chair. Every time I rock my chair back, I don't want you guys hearing the squeaky sound. I mute myself.
Here, you could also get yourself a can of WD-40, Greg.
Well, it looked like you were talking is why I said it, because I looked up and it looks like your lips was moving, but I was like, he's muted.
But yeah, no. Like I say, you know, hey, Shop has to be happy for Jaden. So they still have their 1st and their 2nd. So who knows? They still may say, hell, let's just go all in and trade for Trey now.
No, let's just keep Trey. I think
I want to keep Trey. I do.
Wade says Russ is talking to Tennessee, which could make sense because Darnold went to Seattle. You're getting, and Tennessee's got to do something.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he does, then that leaves Pittsburgh with no quarterbacks. So now all of a sudden they got it. Well, they don't have a quarterback now because Russ.
Yeah, it'll be Aaron Rodgers. It seems like it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers, and we'll see what happens.
Patrick Jones from the Vikings joins the Panthers, 2 years, $20 million.
Yeah, what position does he play? I don't know.
Defensive end. I didn't know if you know who he was.
I saw a rumor last night about Aaron Rodgers possibly going back to Minnesota. I mean, that's still a possibility, I guess, and following that whole. I mean, Jesus Christ, what other team would he have to play for to be Brett Favre?
The Vikings. It was.
That's it, right? And then he would be Brett Favre too.
Yeah.
He won how many Super Bowl rings? Brett Favre won 1, right? Aaron Rodgers won 1, right? Yeah, it's Brett Favre 2.
There you go.
Hey, that bodes good for Jordan Love, right? Because that means that he's going to win a Super Bowl, but he's also going to play for the Jets.
Yeah. So it created, here's on the contract for Tunsil, it creates $13.85 million in cap savings and $42.7 million in cash over 2 years. So are the Texans cash poor?
I mean, they must be, because that really doesn't sound like a whole lot of capital to get back
I don't
an
get
all-pro left tackle.
I don't get that.
Well, especially we've seen the Chiefs signed a tackle from the Niners, gave him a boatload. That Dan Moore, which, I mean, Tyler could speak on him. I didn't see him getting 20 plus some million a year at left tackle for somebody. That was actually the Titans. So I think they're going to move the guy back, Latham, back to right tackle, the one from Alabama that they drafted last year.
And Kelly's pick for first round, I guess, is Dart. He likes that Ole Miss quarterback.
There you
He's
go.
been telling me that on the text that he wants that guy as the quarterback. He was like, he's going to be good. And I said, yep, that's what you said about Pickens.
It's true. He did say that.
Yep. He was the new franchise quarterback going to lead them to victory.
I mean, I just hope, we signed TJ Slayton, we signed P. Ryan as outside guys, even though P. Ryan's kind of, been here before.
Mm-hmm.
Who moves the needle right now, Dale, outside coming in for you?
A guard, a starting caliber guard.
Will Fries, right?
Fries, Kevin Zeitler,
Yes.
Tevin Jenkins.
Reisner's still out there, isn't he?
Yes.
Could be Brandon Scherf. I mean, he's 33, but still very good pass blocker. Will Hernandez, Mekhi Becton's still out there. James Daniels was injured last year from the Steelers, but still only 27 years old. Very versatile, could play probably either guard spot and came in as a center. So, give me one of these guards, right? Because right now, I don't want Cody Ford sniffing real starting spot.
No. Kelly came in with your update on Dan Moore. He's atrocious. Good riddance. They needed to make Broderick Jones the left tackle. So
yeah, they drafted him from Georgia a couple years ago, and
I tell you what, I think we'll sign a guard today. I have a feeling a guard could be happening today.
Well, I mean, I'm happy that they have. I mean, honestly, it's nice at least that they didn't sign a meh guard, so that we still got good guards out there. So they still got time, and I'm hoping that is a priority. I think if we talked on this show, like guard was just about, wasn't it like our number one priority besides re-signing our own guys?
Because we need two, we need two, and you're not going to draft two that you think can start. No. You might draft one if you're lucky in the second or third that can start.
I mean,
but you need to sign a starting guard.
And we all want that tackle in the first round, and so we want to get this guard situation settled in free agency.
Yes, we do.
I'm with Matt. I don't have faith, but I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. Some edge players still out there. So Malcolm Kuntz tore an ACL last year, so he missed the whole season. But 8 sacks in 2023, so a player coming into his own. He's still only 26 years old. If you're going to go edge, right? And this could be – Sam Hubbard is retired now too, guys. So Osai's a free agent. Whether you're keeping Trey or not, you could still sign an edge. Chase Young has not – a lot of people thought he'd sign back with the Saints. He hasn't done it yet. He's not even 26 years old. Just saying, 66 pass rush grade last year. Michael Hoke, the kid that we said had some versatility, almost more a linebacker edge now, from the Rams, still out there. Ojulari, who I'm not super high on, but, he had 6 sacks, but 2.5 of them was against us. That's a typical Bengals signing. But
I knew we were going to get him, though.
Win rate is not great. He's still out there.
I just got a feeling. We pushed for him at the trade deadline last year.
Yeah, no. Give me Chase Young. Now Malik said on Bengal Jim Show yesterday that he's close to resign. He's going to resign with the Saints, but I don't care. Give me Chase. If you can give me Chase, all right, Dale, say if in the next 24 hours we got Chase Young and let's just say Will Fries, so one of the guards. What would you say?
I'd say, all right, we added some pieces, and even if we're adding Chase Young, I would still hope we find a way to bring back Trey.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And a lot of people hate Chase Young, but I think he's decent. He's a piece.
He is a piece. Hey, Greg, you were watching that show too. Was Malik talking about Jenkins? I remember him talking about
Yes,
Jenkins.
he was. Right? No, he was talking about Jenkins. I mean, here's my take on Jenkins. I mean, from that one guard just guy. I mean, just so you know, the Bears didn't want Jenkins back, what he said. He just didn't want to come back to the Bears, apparently. But, man, his injury history just scares the living daylights out of me, yeah? And he's going to get paid a lot of money. I mean, isn't that too risky?
I don't know. I like Joe's comment here. I don't know who you're talking about either, Joe. saying that if he's interested in coming on a fans podcast, asking for a friend. I don't know who that would be.
But yeah, no, like I said, I'll be happy with Jenkins. Just give me a guard. Will Hernandez, I was very high on, by the way, coming out of the draft. I wouldn't mind if we got Will Hernandez, who you could get cheap. Just give me somebody right now.
I mean, has there been rumors, interest in some of these guards that we're talking about, the top guards, Dale?
I don't know. For us or what?
I mean, just like rumors going around. No,
I haven't heard anything.
Like
we saw Macari get signed, and we saw Banks, and those two, and I think it could pick up. But I haven't seen anything on any of these guys and where they might go. Yeah.
All right. Guess it's just sit and wait.
Hey, but I will sit and wait patiently. I think something's going to happen. I really have a feeling something will happen. But, man, give me Chase Young. I want Chase Young. I want him so badly, Dale.
Greg does want Chase Young.
Dale, I think we could recreate him, man. We could recreate him and make him even better. He would have Joey B with him. He'll be motivated. Am I right, Dale? I mean, come on, man. There's just too much talent in Chase Young.
He's okay.
He's not okay. He's awesome. He just hasn't shown it yet.
What about Joey Bosa? He still hasn't signed, right?
No, he's going to sign with the Niners.
If he's going to, why? I mean, if that's such a done deal, I mean, we're into free agency now. What, 4.5 hours almost? If that's a done deal, what's the problem? Play with your brother.
The Dolphins really want him, but no, it's been known he wants to play with his brother. His mom wants them to play together.
Oh, I bet she does.
He fits the scheme. So, I mean, if I would say what, Dale? Come on, 99% he's going with his brother.
Oh, I don't know. We'll just say 60, right? He's leaning, but money always talks like everything else, like it did with Myles Garrett. So
I mean, he's close with Joe Burrow, but he would not sign for a bargain.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying here. I'm just saying in general, he could go a lot of places. But with Slayton, so to go back and like you said, Chop, and this is Chad Forbes, about that signing, reunites with the D-line coach. Big price. The defensive tackle market is going wild. Even though it's a very strong draft class. The Bengals can now go 3-tech at 17, parentheses, Walter Nolan, and have the right complement with Slayton. So
now I'm getting Chubb.
You said that.
Now I'm getting Chubb, yes.
You gave yourself a Chubb because you said that earlier.
And you know what? I mean, for the last 5-6 years, I give myself a Chubb. That's it. I'm used to it. So thank you.
But Dale, I'm getting excited here, man. I think something's cooking, man. I think something's cooking up right under us. We just don't know yet.
And that's gonna happen on April 24th when we get pick 17 and take Walter Nolan.
Yeah, but
now
maybe I should have been more excited on Slayton because seeing the run defense grade and this and that, it's good, right? Because we still miss DJ Reader. So let's not say he's DJ Reader because DJ Reader was amazing here. But if he gives you 85% of what DJ Reader was when he was here, that's still a damn good player, especially as a run defender. So, and he should hit the ground running under Jerry Montgomery. So I'll get more excitement for the move, right? Because it's all we got right now. We gotta spin it now, boys.
Yeah. Come on, Dan, rise up, man. Rise up with me now. Come on.
I'm not gonna rise all the way up. But
oh hell yes, you are. I will rise you up. I will risen you up myself if I have to.
I got to tell you, if you go into the chop shop, right, and you buy this shirt. Blackout Trey shirt. Every shirt sold right now, from starting right now, I will send one wish that Trey Henderson stays to the Bengals.
Wait.
Every shirt that you buy, I'll send one wish that Henderson
stays. Young, I will dot bot for at least 10 episodes in a row. And that includes the draft event. And that includes our event Saturday.
Shirt off.
Out in the parking lot.
Yeah, because no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Yeah, I can't get.
What is it that has to happen for this, Greg?
What?
Who do we have to sign?
We have to get Chase Young.
Oh God.
Now I'm afraid the signing will be terrible if we get him because remember how much Greg wanted Natty?
Yeah, so no, I don't want. I want Ozalori. I want Ozalori instead. This is all Ozalori who I want. I was just kidding with you guys.
Well, I hope your luck didn't change. I mean. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like as soon as we end this thing, there'll be something crazy pop off. But so here's another signing. This is just a free agent cornerback, and if Kelly's still listening. It affects the Steelers, not a player to the Steelers, but a player that was on the Steelers. Dante Jackson reached a 2-year, $13 million deal with the Chargers. So, whatever. Just
yeah. So we're all pretty much caught up on all the fantastic moves in free agency.
Hey, I'm happy. I'm getting happy, but I think something's cooking.
I really feel like NFL wide free agency hasn't been as busy as I thought it would be today. Do you feel like that? Or is it just
No, you were asleep. You just missed a lot of the action.
Yeah.
And
I know. I woke up 500 something messages and I'm like, fuck, I can't scroll that. So
I mean, a lot of stuff flew off the board pretty quick. Yeah, right, Tyler. And he was solid for you guys, but nothing special. He's smaller and he's not getting any younger for Dante Jackson. But hey, here's a question from Wade that we haven't talked about a whole lot here. So will we want Larry O? I mean, we just kind of mentioned it, right? Like maybe he's 30, but that's still not crazy old. And then also still seemed like a good solid player when he was with the Steelers, and he paired really well here. It's a different D coordinator, different D line coach. How much they're interested in him, who knows? But is it potentially an option? Yeah, but I just think they'd probably wait, because if you look at now, they've got Jackson, they've got Jenkins, they've got Slayton, and they got BJ Hill back. That's 4. You're typically only going to roster at max 5. So I think you want to have that 5th spot almost available right now for the draft, because it's a really good draft for D tackles. Yeah. Even if it's not the first round in Walter Nolan, it could be 3rd, 4th round that you get a guy. And Aeneas Peebles has been one of my favorites, pass rusher, but that he takes the 5th D tackle spot. That might be the reason why they don't show interest in Larry O. But me personally, I think you can just never have enough guys competing. But it would depend on money, like everything else right now too. But
yeah.
We also have the event Saturday at Midwest. We can mention again. Tickets up for grabs for the Project Game Day, thanks to Travis.
And you can meet Tyler Kelly there because they're coming. I was informed this morning.
Yes, and Chop talked about doing a dunk take with Tyler Kelly in it in a Steelers jersey for everybody. But I said, who wants to pay for a dunk take? Let's just kick him in the nuts.
Let's kick him in the nuts.
$1 to kick Tyler Kelly in the nuts.
Right. It's all for charity, Kelly.
Charity, Tyler.
Right. Kick him in them goddamn Steeler balls.
Yeah.
For charity.
Hell yeah. Matt will be there Saturday. So we know at least like 2 or 3 people will be there.
And I'll be there. That's right.
Well, I mean, I know we'll be there, but
good, man. It looks like, and I know Darth's coming, and he's
Darth and Matt and Jim Wickens, who does the draft professor stuff, supposed to swing by because he actually lives in Cincinnati area too.
He has steel curtain nuts.
He's ready for it.
All right,
he's bring it on.
All right, man. Matt's already got $10 ready.
Yeah, he's lining up 10 times for him fucking testicles.
He's got $10 to go to the charity already.
He's going to be handing out dollars to people. So
I know. He could just bring his T-shirt collection.
Hey, Tina's she plans on being there Saturday. So
yes.
Hey, let's go.
Tina.
Awesome.
We hope to see you, Tina.
Well, I mean, Chop, you popped in the private chat there. We want to send out the link. You got to work today. You want to keep this thing rolling?
I do work today, but I don't work until 11.
Okay, so we can keep this thing rolling a little bit if you guys
wants to pop on. I'll put the link in the chat.
Give their thoughts on the signing so far, the non-extension so far. I mean, Gesicki was officially introduced today, signed his contract, met with the media. So I don't know if you knew that, Chop, or not.
I did see that part. I think I was pooing when that was happening. The Bengals had on Twitter, it said live, and I was like, the fucking Bengals are live. What's going on? It was like the live signing of Mike Gesicki.
You got all excited, like, oh, it's that double press conference for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
I got to tell you, West is a little bit wrong because I had a vasectomy. My insurance covered every fucking 10 cents of it. So it was free.
And unfortunately, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. What's going on?
I do have to go to my family's house for dinner and all that see my family. So unfortunately, I do have to leave. I'm sorry, guys.
Crickets.
Sorry, man. Gotta see the nephews.
Dang, it ain't even our regular time show end.
Yeah, we
Sorry about that, guys.
we have talked about Larry O.
Yes. I'd be all in on having Larry O back as a piece.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you later, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Did you already put the link out?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I was about to do it.
Yeah. Look,
KP's already
here.
up.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm gonna check on my dog while KP gives his thoughts.
Man.
Good.
All right.
Good. How are you?
Man, I'm ticked off, man. These wide receivers should already be signed, bruh.
Dude.
It's crazy, bruh.
Man, look, some people say that I've heard that the Bengals wait till August and they save money signing Chase. Chase then for some reason. Something about signing in August is better for the Bengals. But
You should have did it last August, bro. When I seen Devontae Smith and Waddle get signed, I said, okay, the best receiver in their draft still didn't get signed yet.
Yeah.
Right? Devontae Smith and Waddle came out the same draft as Jamar Chase. Neither one of those guys are better than Jamar Chase, bro. Pay him just over what they got paid, and then they would have saved money. Now they got to pay 40-something instead of low 30s.
I know. Like a few days ago, it was $37 million. Now $37 million ain't gonna cut it because fucking Cleveland's screwing us again.
Yeah,
I
because
can't.
Cleveland ain't got nobody else to pay. You know what I mean? So
I mean, these guys didn't have any money going into the season, you know what I mean, in the offseason. And then they restructure Deshaun Watson so they could have extra money. And all of a sudden now they're signing Myles Garrett for $40 million a year for 4 years. That's ridiculous.
yeah, ridiculous, man. And it also messed up the trade market too. So like they gotta get in front of these contracts if they want to compete. If they're not gonna do it, man, I'm done, bro. I don't have time to waste my energy. I could do something else on Sundays besides watch a team run the best quarterback in the league out there without no help. I can't do that, bro. I'm not doing that.
You gonna switch over with your girl?
No, I ain't switching over. I just want to watch. I just go give me.
That's
some
what I
money.
said.
I'm gonna make me some money, man, rather than sit there and spend money trying to watch them. They got millions. They don't give a damn about me. I don't got millions yet. I got to get to it.
Yeah, someone put on Twitter the other day how they'd be out and they're done, and I'm like, I can't be done on this team. Like, I can't root for. They're like jump ship and go to another one. I'm like, I know who it was. It was Matt, one of our friends. Yeah. And I said, I can't do that. I said, I can't root for another team. I got another quarterback I like, Jaden Daniels, but I'm not going to buy Commander shit. You know what I mean? That's not going to be my team. If it ain't the Bengals, it ain't football.
I can't do it, man. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Like, there's no reason for the Higgins and Chase deals not to be now announced in the next day or so.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, because the longer you wait, the more the price increase, and as the price increase, they start complaining about what they got to pay. Nah, you did that to yourself.
Yeah.
These contracts have already gone up. So I just got back. So if I'm repeating stuff, just let me know. But one of the most frustrating things to me, and maybe you already talked about it, KP, is the Higgins deal not getting done. Like, that just felt like that should have been done before free agency. And even the DK Metcalf deal, he got 33 per on the new 4-year part of it. So it's like, did you just cost yourself more money?
Yeah. And DK Metcalf is a malcontent. They get penalties every week, right? So T. Higgins averages what he averages as far as yards a year and probably receptions, pretty close. So he's on his second contract with the attitude like that. And then they talk about they happy with the way T. Higgins acts. You happy the way he acts, but you don't pay him? No, man, come on, man. I can't do that, man.
Yeah.
I can't vouch for that, man. I can't do that.
Well, also the Bengals just
it's not like they're paying a bunch of other guys. The defense is not being paid, bro.
Nope.
They're not paying nobody.
I mean, well, hopefully. I mean, because I still got hope that Trey tests the market and come back and they pay him. But even then, one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're essentially paying one guy and then telling us they're going to do something in the draft. You only got 6 picks, man. You don't have.
Listen, most teams. I heard we only got 6 picks, but most teams only have 7. The majority. Right. So it's only one less. We can make a deal. and pick up another one for a trade or something. And
Yeah, but watching them, they try to hold deals like they got a royal flush in their hand.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. I mean, but to me, like the important picks are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6 and 7 usually. I mean, those guys, we're hoping they make the team.
Well, hell, Yoshivas playing
Yes.
better than Charlie Jones
Yeah.
as a 6th-round pick, and Charlie Jones is barely on the roster. It looks like to me.
That's why I was just saying, Matt. You test the market. I mean, there's no rumors. I mean, all the rumors that were out there about Trey kind of fizzled out. The biggest one was with the Commanders, wasn't it? And they still got their pick 29, but the chatter kind of fizzled out about Trey, as far as I can see. But who knows?
Yeah, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. And like I said, that pick 29 makes sense for both teams. And them going out and get a Tunsil tells me they're pushing in as much as they can, salary wise and everything else. And they had $80 million and could free up more if they needed to coming in.
Mm-hmm. I hope that they bring Trey back, but I also hope that they don't overpay Trey, which it doesn't sound like that's going to happen, but I hope that it's good for him and it's good for us. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yeah, this is what we were just talking about this earlier, Matt, that I think Dale, you said the number 28, how he'd come back for 28 maybe.
Yeah, if he do 28 to 30 million a year, because that's a low ball, disrespectful offer at 23. And even 28, 30, you feel like a good deal, especially if it's tacked on to the 16 he has coming up for this year. That makes the AAV even less.
Yeah. What do you think, KP, about Rodgers going to Pittsburgh possibly?
Oh, we might have lost KP.
We might have.
So a lot of people are talking about, Slayton as a run defender, because I just said it didn't move me on X/Twitter, whatever. And a lot of people are like, oh, we need a run defender. We're last in run defense. I hear you. I didn't want to get rid of DJ Reader. So if he's going to be that guy for us, great. We do need that. It's just we're going to still need the pass rush that we just haven't gotten. So I hope it's a Walter Nolan, somebody that can get after the quarterback from the interior as well. We still need that paired with these guys.
Yeah, they could put Nolan next to Slayton. It'll make sense. Make a lot of sense. Because just be honest. Just be honest, man. Jenkins and Jackson are backups, man.
Yeah, they're good. They're solid 3s and 4s, right? They're not ones.
They're
and
rotational.
2s.
Yeah, they're not 1s and 2s, man. They are who they are. It is what it is.
And if you get Trey back, if you do get Trey back and you got Slayton and you got BJ Hill and you got, then you start to feel a little better about your depth. You still need another edge, whether that's through the draft. I'd still like to bring Osai back personally. What are your thoughts on him, KP and Chop? What are your thoughts on bringing back Osai, or should they swing for something bigger, or just wait for the draft? I don't think you can just wait for the draft.
I think Mulugeta's Osai's agent, right?
It is.
Yeah.
But he's not a top of the market guy.
Exactly.
He's not a top of the market guy, but this team act like they can't do a deal with the guy at all.
It's true.
I don't know, man. It's frustrating. This is the thing I see with them. They play this Wizard of Oz deal where they don't give a GM a title, so you have nobody to blame.
Yeah.
So they like to play that deal because it's a front office, right? So only time you get to see Duke is during the combine. Then after that, you don't see him at all. It's like he doesn't exist. People don't even know what Duke looks like.
Oh, no shit, man. Somebody said that, like, national media was like, if I saw Duke Tobin, I wouldn't even know who that was because he's just not out.
Yeah, like it's like
see him twice a year, man.
Yes.
Yeah, they're hiding from the fans, bro, in plain sight, so they can't be blamed for anything. And then when it all falls apart, like if the way that I'm looking at this right now is, I really can't blame Zach Taylor for how bad the team is gonna be.
Yeah, and he'll be the one having to stand up there and answer questions when things start to go bad.
Yeah, man, they're not giving a chef anything to cook with. And then it makes you realize what Lou and Romo had last year. Just think about this, guys. 2 years in a row. So they let an all-pro from the back end walk without getting any conversation in Jesse Bates. They let DJ Reader walk the next year and replace DJ Reader with a guy that didn't work out in rankings, and it really
never should have been a replacement for Reader. He's not that guy.
Right, and they replaced Bates with Scott. Remember Nick Scott? Remember Nick Scott?
I'm trying not to, man.
Unfortunately,
That's
and Geno
PTSD.
Stone the next year, you're still trying to fill that spot. To be fair,
Bro, and look, the Chiefs did the same thing. I watched them do this when they let Orlando Brown leave, and then they brung in Jawan Taylor. He was trash on left side, so they moved him to the right, and he's been trash over there too.
Yes, he has.
So I've watched this happen, bro. So
and then they used draft capital on the kid from BYU last year.
Yeah, Sumateo, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And then they signed a guy now today that they spent 20-some million on that they hope's good.
Yeah, Moore.
You know?
Last name Moore from San Francisco. But then they also did it too. They traded away Tyreek, and they got Sky Moore, right? The only picks that worked out from that draft was Karlaftis, and I think they got McDuffie as a first-round pick anyway.
Yeah, they got
but
both
that
of them
was
that year
pick.
First.
I think McDuffie was their first-round pick anyway. But I think Karlaftis came from the Miami trade. But, like, man, a lot of the times, man, the guys that are productive, there's no reason for you to chase a waterfall that's not there, man. It really isn't. I mean, just looking at the team, guys, T. Higgins is a better second option than T.J. Houshmandzadeh ever was to me.
Yes. I mean,
as far as a threat, downfield threat, in zone target, this is not to say that he's a better overall player, but it looks like he has a trajectory to finish his career as a better overall player. And you're watching Jamar Chase be a number one who's probably a Hall of Fame level player. And you about to waste a Hall of Fame quarterback and a wide receiver,
right?
Because you don't want to build a team out.
Well, and then I'm telling you, like they signed Jamar and T. We're right back to having the best wide receiver duo in the NFL. But Devontae Adams going to the Rams with Puka Nacua, that looks like a good wide receiver team too. So, I mean, and teams are doing that.
Yeah,
it seems like a lot more teams are getting like their number one, and they're getting a really good number two and paying for him.
Yeah. I don't think much of the Steelers because I don't know who the hell their quarterback gonna be.
Aaron Rodgers.
I don't trust him. He's too old.
Man, I don't want to eat my hat. You know what I'm saying? I want to say the man seems washed, but I don't want it to come back and bite me in the ass. But I hope they get him.
He's old.
Yeah, no doubt. So anything else, KP, you want to hit on?
Man. I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I'm gonna drop down in the chat. I'll hang on and holler at you guys later, man. Y'all
appreciate you stopping in.
See you, brother. Now I don't know how legit this is because we see it's Dove Kleiman. We'll see if anybody else says it, but says the Packers expected to sign Nate Hobbs to a 4-year, $48 million contract. Like I said, Kleiman ain't been doing too good today, so
he's not been having a great day.
Yeah, he's been saying a bunch of wrong shit.
Yeah, you know those guys, man, got to be really
okay. Pelissero says it too, so okay, we can trust it. But yeah, he's the guy I thought, if the Bengals were going to dip into the corner market, like we said, hey, they, maybe they don't trust CTB or they're moving Dax into the slot. Turner's coming off an injury and they're going to get, he was a guy I thought because he's very young. 12 million a year is not crazy for him either. Only 16 guaranteed. So, but he's going to the Packers. So I think that's a good signing for them. I really do. I would have been interested in him. Ascending young player. Not a lot of guaranteed money. Man, that typically sounds like a Bengal.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good rotational piece that we can make a starter.
I think he's a starting caliber guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, Chop. I don't have a lot else, honestly, on this
neither
one.
do I.
I kind of hoping we get it more exciting, but the TJ Slaton, I'm trying to come around to it. A lot of people on X are really excited about his run stoppability, and we were really bad against the run. And when you play Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Najee's not there at Pittsburgh. Chubb's
if
probably gone
if he heals up.
But those teams will be looking to have good running backs. You never know. One of them could end up with an Ashton Jeanty or a Marion Hampton from the draft and just replenish. I could definitely see Hampton going to the Steelers. I think Jeanty goes a little before that, but Hampton's a good player, man.
I got to tell you, I'm more scared of Hampton than Jeanty to play against. I'm just being honest. Like I know that Jeanty had a phenomenal college career, and especially that last year, but I'm more scared of that guy from North Carolina, Hampton, right?
Yeah, Marion Hampton from North Carolina, 1,500 with Drake May. So it's like, okay, he's got Drake May. Then they have bad quarterback play, and he puts up over 1,600 rushing when he's like the whole offense, basically.
Right. He's really good at catching passes too, right?
Yeah, he's pretty solid. He's pretty good all
around. Is he like Derrick Henry kind of?
Well, he's 221, so he's got plenty of size.
Yeah,
he's not as big as Derrick Henry. There's just not nobody like him, but
right.
Yeah, he is a big dude.
I mean, if you were asking me if we were going to take a running back in the first round, that would be my guy, not Genty. Genty played like shit in the playoffs. Like your team made him look like fucking not the guy.
And we didn't talk about. So we talked about how the Steelers, might be getting Rodgers, but they're not going to have Justin Fields because he signed with the Jets for 2 years, $40 million. I kind of like that, and a little bit too, because Garrett Wilson seemed to hate Aaron Rodgers last year, and now they're giving him a guy he played with in college, and those guys had a lot of success. So I kind of like that move for the Jets, and I don't know what Fields will be. I'm not going to sit on here and be a Buckeye homer crip about him. He hasn't panned out the way I thought he could have in the NFL. I'm not going to say he's going to be spectacular, but they've been building up their offensive line, and I think Garrett Wilson's still a really good player. So we'll see what they can do, right? I think Justin Fields could surprise some people this year, but hell, I've been saying that for 3 years. So
Justin Fields was winning when they took him out and put Russ Wilson in last year. So Justin Fields was winning.
You're right. I had to bring up an Ohio State guy. I just had to do it. I am a homer. So a guy I was talking about earlier, Malcolm Kuntz, who missed all season with a torn ACL at edge. But he had 8 sacks the year before, and he's still very young.
Yeah.
Back to the Raiders. So thank you for that update, Travis. I would have liked him because that edge market is drying up real quick, and the places to trade for Henderson are drying up real quick. So I hope they can. I mean, Genty didn't look as good against Penn State.
That's what I'm saying. Like some
really
people
good defense, though.
They wonder if his game translates. And I know that you, Dale, when you scout these players, you talk about that. What do you call it when it's hard to knock them down?
Oh, their contact balance.
Contact balance, yeah. And his contact balance is phenomenal, right? So he's hard to tackle. So, I mean, maybe. And I'm not saying he's going to be a bad player. I'm just saying I'd rather take the kid from North Carolina.
Yeah, and it's just a deep class too. So, but
I hope neither
you're get
one
some
of
good
them
running backs.
And I hope neither one of them are in the AFC North.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Even Quinshon Judkins or Travion Henderson, it's like, man, I don't want to see y'all get any of these. Scatterboo, I don't know what Scatterboo will be in the NFL, but somebody gets him in the 3rd or 4th. I hope it's not in our division. I don't want him in our division.
Keep that one. Keep both of them in the NFC. Let them fight against Saquon.
Yeah. And the Perine deal, I mean, to touch on that again, because we started the show kind of talking about that one a little bit. I mean, 2 years, less than $4 million. You could do a lot worse for basically a running back 3 that can block, catch passes. He's fine. It's fine. It's just a solid, fine signing, and it shouldn't keep you from drafting one of these stud running backs, somewhere in the draft.
In my head, I'm thinking like the Bengals warehouse, and they're like, what the fuck do we do with all these goddamn leftover Perine jerseys? Oh, he's a free agent. Fucking bring him back, man. Get rid of Khalil. We got the 34 right back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, anybody that bought a Perine jersey, you have to be excited, right?
I know, you're excited. You're like, hell yeah, get that.
Unless he changes numbers, right? But even if he changes numbers, still got the name on it. You still got,
how many Perine jerseys you think are going to show up on the first game? The preseason.
How many Perine jerseys were bought is the question.
Ton,
3, 4, 5.
People love Perine. Every time
I liked him too, but I never.
Remember what everybody'd yell when he would score?
Yeah. Another thing that happened is Derek's dream of getting some poon died. Oh, we both tried to add him, and then all right. So Poona Ford went earlier too to the Rams, 3 years, $30 million. So he got a pretty good contract. But Derek's dream of getting Poon dead again. What's up, Dustin? How are you?
What's up, boys? Good, man. How are you guys doing? Happy free agency.
Yeah, it's still exciting,
great.
right?
It's going about as good as my fucking birthday went.
Well, Chop, come on now. At least we've done something. It's not like we've done nothing. There's been a lot of years where we've done nothing at this point.
Dale, I need the Bengals to treat it just like the birthday, and you get the birthday blowjob. Let's go. Let's get the prize, the happy ending. Come on.
All right, Dustin. So we were just talking P. Ryan. So what's your thoughts on? We'll start with P. Ryan first, since the outside free agent.
I mean, the Bengals love P. Ryan, so it's like it's one of those like signings that like you know, I don't know. A lot of times, like when like teams bring players back, it's like there's so many years that go by. It's like, are they that impactful of a player still?
Right.
But then I also got to keep in mind, like, I don't know, the way that I think Zach and our coaches like to operate. They do like reliable players that are supposed to be in the position that they're in, pass blocking, third down pickup, you know.
He was
like
also never super explosive, so it's not like, you know what I mean, in that part of his game.
You know what though? When Mixon went down, he did a really good job carrying that fucking ball the entire game. Let me ask you this, Dustin: P. Ryan, Herbert, and Moss. Which one of them do you want? And let's say Moss isn't hurt going into the season. Which would be your pick on those?
You know, Herbert started to come on towards the end of the year last year, but I don't know that I saw anything special about him. So I kind of changed my tune on P-Ron a little bit now that I kind of like think about it and hearing you guys talk. I mean, I'd probably take him. The familiarity with the system, some leadership. He hasn't obviously had the wear and tear over the last couple of years either. So yeah, I mean, our running back room, if we can add somebody in the 6th and 7th as another rotational piece, well, we don't have a 7th round pick, but a later draft pick, then I think our running back room is pretty solid, and I'm excited about it. You know?
And that's what I've been saying. Like, if we're like whoever we bring in for running back has got to complement Chase Brown, because he showed that he can be the guy, and that guy that complements him has to be able to block. And so we did. We went out and got a running back that we know can block because he played here before with Joe, and we got him cheap as fuck.
Yeah, we got him probably at a offer that we made him the first time around.
Probably so, yeah.
Or less, who knows?
But he thought he was going to be the guy out there in Denver.
Yeah.
It was funny about P. Ryan too, because there was a report like he got 3 years, $22 million, and it's like, holy shit, how did he get that? And then it was not even 15, 20 minutes later, and it's like he signs with the Bengals for 2 years, 3.8. It's like, oh, okay, that one makes more sense.
The report, I don't know if you guys have noticed this today. The reporting has been really all over the place on these signings. It's like, what the hell?
And some of the things are all over the place, like Milton Williams with the Panthers. It's like, oh, he's signing there. And then it's like, no, he's a Patriot. And the Patriots, they paid him. You got to give him that.
Yeah. They said somebody had tweeted to expect the Panthers and the Patriots. They actually said the Titans too, to be really active in free agency.
And the Titans went and got that left tackle, Dan Moore, even though I don't think he's like a savior, but it allows them to move Latham back to right tackle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so I don't look at any team having like day one kill it or anything. Like, it's kind of what I expected, to be honest. I could see the Bengals probably over the next couple of days adding a guard and maybe, somebody in the secondary. I could see them adding maybe 2 to 3 more players, and then that kind of being it.
2 guards, please.
Yeah, and speaking of guards, where do you think they go with the guys off the market like Makari? Banks, I never really thought was the greatest fit here, personally. Who's the guard still out there you'd like to see, or a couple of them that pique your interest?
I mean, French fries. Like, bring that guy in, solid, I mean, there's always the Dalton Reisners of the world, but we've kicked the can. I mean, it's like, how many times are we going to just talk about him over and over again?
Right. We haven't never really kicked that can, I don't think, but as a fan base.
Yeah, that's a fan base. Like, yeah, we probably should have to wave the white towel on that. Like, maybe
I'm pretty sure this is our 3rd off season that we've been waving the flag for Reisner.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Zeitler, trying to think who else is still out there, because I was in a meeting for a little bit, so I couldn't keep up on the free agency over the last hour. But
about the show, your meeting,
yeah,
doing CEO shit.
Nah. Who else? I'm thinking of somebody. Where is Brandon Scherf? Has he landed anywhere?
No, he's 33, but he's still a good pass blocker. And you getting a guy like that probably on a 1 year. Same with Zeitler. It doesn't keep you from drafting multiple guards, even, if you bring in a 1 year guy.
But outside of that, the guard market's kind of, and then I think in the draft, like you got to grab a guard early, in my opinion, if you're drafting for a starter. So, it would be wise to get a couple more guards just in case. I don't know, however the board falls, I mean, it could be a chance that those guys go earlier than expected because I feel like there's probably going to be a run on guards early as maybe we're prioritizing defense still. So it'd be good to have a contingency plan of like having some veteran guards in place for sure. Is that what you guys are kind of thinking too? Would that be your strategy?
For guard?
Yeah. Kind of just not relying upon those guys being there in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, you really can't. It's not. I mean, because it's like what you're just Ratledge is going to be there in the second. That's our guy, and I don't want to go Booker in the first. I think I'm just the athleticism, even though that's not his game. He's a nasty motherfucker. Period. I still just don't want to go guard in the first. That would not be.
Yeah. No. I know like there was some draft people that are talking like, oh, if a guard is here, you should take him. I just, the Bengals, they don't value the guards. I certainly don't value them at 17. Like if one of the tackles slide to us, yeah, because you can always develop with that. I mean, Orlando Brown's getting a little bit older and that's a BPA situation. But yeah, man, I'm going pass rusher. Tyler Warren drops. I'm all over that. I mean, even Ashton Genty, I'm kind of looking at too, but I don't know. I want us to go defense pass rusher in the first round. So like, yeah, let's bring in some of these guard veterans. So if because it's kind of like a plan in which like, yeah, if a guard falls to you in the draft, great, at a good position. But if not, you're not shooting yourself in the foot. You got reinforcements.
Yeah, if we're gonna take a guard in the draft, I want round 4, 5, or 6. 1, 2, and 3. I really want defense. I don't want the guard, but that means we have to go out and sign at least 1 guard in free agency. But I want 2. If we get Risner, Zeitler, Scherf, whoever, a combination of some decent guards in here, then that way we can focus on pushing that defense, man. Because if our defense was ranked number 16 last year, maybe there's a different Super Bowl winner. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and if our defense can improve and our offensive line can just get a little bit better, we had some injuries last year. We had some depth there. I'm not.
Update. The Bengals are engaged in negotiations to keep pass rusher. Joseph Osai, not Trey.
Originally I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I remembered like this negotiation could take forever because of fucking David Malagueta.
But listen, doesn't even turn 25 till next month. 5 sacks is most production. Now that's not everything, but he was coming on at the end of the season like he did at the end of the season in the playoffs before the Chiefs penalty, and then he wasn't quite the same for like a whole season, basically season plus. But he's still not even 25. And you got new defensive coordinator. You've got a new D-line coach. I still believe in Joseph Osai. I can't quit him. I would love if he's back. Personally,
dude, in a 4-3 defense that Al Golden, like he can cook. Like I think he's going to use him in some interesting ways. If we
get him back, it goes. We did a deal with David Malagueta.
That too.
Right.
We can do what?
Is that an off-season win? Finally getting a deal done with yeah, but we've said, Dale, in here that that's not beyond the realm of reality because David Malagueta, he's a dick when it comes to negotiations with the teams, but we're talking about those players are top tier Pro Bowl players, Hall of Famers, you know what I'm saying? Joseph Osai could be that. But so far in his career, he hasn't done anything to earn the money.
Yeah.
So it's possibly a deal we could make with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's going to be interesting just to, we talked about this before, but just the development of some of these younger guys that we drafted. Maybe it's going to make the drafts look a little bit better because we'll get more out of Murphy, more out of Osai. So, I don't know, man. NFL is a coaches league too. It's like you can make all these big splashes in free agency and shit like that. But if some of these teams don't even use the players right. Like, what if Milton Williams goes to New England and he's just not used the right way, right? It's like,
Right.
it's like, I don't know. It's like one of those things where, when you bring these players in, it's like, or like you got to use them the right way too. So I'm excited about our coaching changes and the way that they're going to be able to utilize some of this draft talent, and hopefully that draft talent turns into really solid players. And we're adding through the draft this year. We're picking up some solid pieces of free agency. I mean, I think we can move the needle pretty quickly.
Yeah. And I did just watch a little video, was looking at my Twitter, see if there's updates on the guy that we got, that defensive tackle. Drew Garrison had a video of him just saying he's got that dog in him. He was just fucking smashing guys and then getting in a fight with the Eagles. Yeah, so
I mean,
it'd be nice to have someone with some attitude.
I just didn't get excited at first, but you know what? I should have been more excited because we were so bad as a run defending team. And Dustin, you said in the chat, he's big son bitch.
Big
and
son
honestly,
bitch.
we could use a big son bitch.
Looks like
330 pounds, 6'4". That's just
He
I'm
just
gonna be
looks like-
watching me some TJ Slayton.
He
Now,
just
I don't
looks
want
like
to
a
overreact and get too excited because
Right.
he's a Bengal, but
maybe he will have the same quote as McKinley Jackson. They both can pee in urinals next to each other because they both pee fire.
Yes.
Our dogs, getting after it. Just get some nasty boys in there,
Hell yeah.
I just
How would
think
he
he's
that's
like-
nasty. Period. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, I feel like the last couple of years we've just missed like some nastiness on the defense. There's a lot of things that went wrong, but we need some nasty boys up there. Like, yeah, they're maybe not the high end talent or whatever, but sometimes you just need some dudes that like to get dirty in there. So let's get it.
I think that the answer to this, and tell me if I'm wrong, but Mulugeta works for an agency. It's not like he's involved in every contract. He works for an agency, so he just takes care of his guys, right?
Yeah, he has a certain amount of clients. That
He doesn't
because you
own
can
the
look when you
agency.
just see. I think it's athletes first, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
And if you see athletes first, you can't automatically go, "Oh, that's
No.
Mulugeta."
Right.
No, there's a bunch of people.
Mhm.
He's just known to get his guys top, and that's just kind of how it is. And that's
Right.
another reason I was hoping Higgins would have been re-signed because he changed agents. That was a very good. Because obviously his contract negotiations with the Bengals and Mulugeta was not going well.
Right. This comment earlier made me laugh. So much for the Joe Burrow effect on free agency.
Yeah.
So much for the Joe Burrow effect.
That
with
was
the front
always
office.
that was always a little overrated, to
Yes.
be honest. Let's be. I mean, it's money, it's fit. There's a lot that goes into it.
I
But
said,
Mike G said like he took less to play with Burrow.
mhm.
So it's kind of like one of those things where like I think we overtalk that sometimes. You still got to have the dineros to
Yeah.
get guys in. So
Apparently, Jamar Chase put up a tweet or something that says, know your worth and add tax. Somebody had reposted it that he had it on his Twitter or whatever. I didn't go look yet, but just
Yeah,
said,
he-
know your worth, add tax. And you
Yeah.
know what?
I can't
That's
get
right, the
emotional.
Bengals still rolling out that $38 million a year after Myles Garrett. They probably were offering him that. And then Myles Garrett signed that 40. And Jamar's like, well, hey, should have got me that pen yesterday.
Yeah. You could have got me for 40, but you can't get me for 40 now. It's
No,
42.
now I need 41.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like when I see posts like that, I just can't get emotional about it anymore. I just don't. It's like those guys say a lot of stuff.
The worst is when they just put up an emoji, just like a random emoji, and everybody's like, what the fuck, man? They're
Yeah.
like Jim Rockford in Colombo, Virgil Tibbs, like, what the fuck, man? Texting all their friends, like, what the fuck does that mean? What is
Yeah.
that? It's a
But it
blue
doesn't
hat.
have to be like, hey, these guys are in the offseason. They could be talking about anything. It's like
Not only that, but they
it's
could just be
football.
fucking with everybody. Like,
Yeah.
man, I'm just gonna put up an emoji. I'm gonna put up a weird ass meme, and people are like, "What the fuck does that mean? What is
Yeah.
that?"
Yeah. It would have been fun to be in Cincinnati Saturday night. I guess all the boys were out together.
Were they?
Jamar and T. Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't know. It'd be funny if the Bengals were just like looking at all the reactions and just laughing. And they're like,
So we were on plane watch for a contract, and T was actually just coming in to get shit faced with his boys.
You're
over the
right.
weekend.
Yeah.
oh, he had to feed the jellyfish too.
yeah. He was just going back to party. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Like I happen to be in Cincinnati. I live there some of the time. So
He's got a vacation home here.
he's got some bad biddies he's got to get to.
Yeah.
Young, good-looking
I
millionaire.
bet the fuck he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely doing just fine in that area, I imagine.
I'm sure that he has no problem. None of them.
Yeah.
You know, like we're signing guys. A lot of it's not like exciting, but
I
like-
got one player that I want to ask you about that we re-signed is, I know it's fucking weird, but Cal Alamitis, right? I saw that we signed him for 1 year and it looked like vet minimum, like 1.1. Why? Why the fuck didn't we pay Cal Alamitis? Is he bad? I thought he does pretty good as our long snapper. Like, why is it one fucking year? Is it that easy to replace your long snapper?
Yeah, yes, and that is just kind of how it typically works. I think it was the Bills who brought back a guy that's been there for years, and they gave him a 4-year deal or something today.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, I was like reading
but
that.
Typically that's how it is. Even when we had Clark, who was, we thought, and he was one of the best long snappers. Shout out Clark Harris,
right?
Autograph jersey,
best friend.
But he never had messed up. Period. He just didn't. Clark was as good as it gets as a long snapper, and he would typically be brought back on 1-year deals, and then every now and then you give him a 2. But he's also an exclusive rights guy, so a lot of times you're working out 1-year deals with him. Maybe when he becomes like, oh, he'd be an unrestricted free agent. If he's like, oh, he's so great, then you give him 2 or 3. And they still get hardly nothing. Yeah, it's a weird thing, man.
Long snappers in the NFL are going into the workforce after they retire.
Do we know how BJ Hills? I didn't have a chance to look at it, how his contract was structured. I mean, they went 3 with that, but I don't know.
333, 16 guaranteed, I think, is all we know. If we had to guess, it'd be a lot of money in the first year and probably an easy out by the 3rd year,
That's about right.
Also, Joe gets more expensive in a few years, so maybe their front load needs a little bit, paying them more at the beginning so that they got wiggle room at the end. I did see Cody Ford, though, had most of his is on the 2nd year and makes it easy to just play him 1 year, right?
Well, and cutting him and getting out of that, you can do very easily.
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I hope Cody Ford's here for 2 years because I like him as a backup.
Versatile backup.
Yes. He can play all of them except he doesn't play center, right?
So the Panthers are adding Rams free agent D tackle Bobby Brown III. That's a guy that we talked about because he's like 24, 25 years old.
That's their prerogative.
Maybe a guy we'd bring in, but
he's solid. That's a solid pickup for them. But
young and I mean they missed out on Milton Williams, so you try to get, maybe they could probably spend now on 3 or 4 guys, not at one position, but spread it out, get more bodies.
Did you hear me when I said it's their prerogative?
I see what you did.
I don't know about you guys. I'm just having a really tough time gauging this whole free agency period, meaning like there's teams dumping salaries and then they're signing different guys back, or like the Laramie Tunsil trade. Like it's just, there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
There's always
it's like Seattle dumped everybody, at one point. And it's like, maybe
and then brought in Sam Darnold, right? So it's like our plan is just we're going to be great with Sam Darnold throwing to Jackson Smith and Jigba.
We're going to hand the ball to Kenneth Walker 400 times a year and just run him into the ground.
And Charbonnet, right? Because he has to play a lot. Because Walker gets hurt a lot.
I mean, Sam Darnold had to be the top free agent quarterback, right? After the year that he had in Minnesota.
Yeah, none of these quarterbacks do anything for me. I mean, even Justin Fields. I'm Ohio State. I went to Ohio State. Love him, but I've seen what I needed from him. Like, it's like how many times is like, he's not in the right system. So,
we also forgot about the Giants earlier when we were talking quarterbacks. So like Tyler Kelly, if he's still around, Aaron Rodgers, if that's the guy you're wanting, might not be a done deal. It might be.
That's true.
He might be going to the Giants.
Oh man, what's left if Wilson,
Daniel Jones?
Well, Russ. They'll sign Russ.
Russ back or Daniel Jones?
Let me ask you this though: why wouldn't they run it back with Russ anyway? With Metcalf there now, because they got continuity. Did him and Metcalf not get along?
I don't think they got along.
Did they not get? Did they play? How long did they play together? Even
didn't they win a Super Bowl together?
No, I don't think so.
Or was that before Metcalf got there?
Probably before. I don't know though. They might have overlapped a year or two though, for sure.
I don't like anything anybody likes playing with Wilson anymore.
Man, that guy fucking weird.
He's fucking sucks. Like, he's horrible. Like, he had a couple flashes this past season. He threw some deep balls, whatever. Like, he sucks. His pocket
I
awareness.
just seen this. This is this picture, and they put the Steelers deciding between Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Darkness in the background, either
Darkness.
path you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
What do you think about what team would you, kind of a under the radar kind of thing, would you take a flyer on Cooper Kupp at the Bengals? Like, just kind of maybe toss him out in the slot in a limited role? Like, what do you? I mean,
for
I don't
how
know.
much?
Like, he delivers good blocking.
And you're saying like if he gets released now that they signed Devontae Adams, I imagine.
Yeah.
But I still imagine he's going to want 10, 12 million or more even. And,
Yeah, is that what the market's going to be for him still? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And I just think, I mean, Yoshi's fine, especially in the red zone. And then Gesicki is almost another slot receiver. And then
True.
they haven't given up on Jermaine Burton yet as something for this team. And they like to move Chase around too, who goes in the slot a lot. So would that limit how much you move Chase around too? Because Yoshi's good. The good thing with Yoshi is you can move him outside just as much and put Chase in the slot or Higgins in the slot every now and again. So I think, I don't know. I think they're kind of set on the weapons. So I just like to see T extended personally.
Yes. Please. I mean, give us something, please. Bengals, just do something today.
Something
Stretch
else.
that shit out until this evening, later tonight, whatever. But just do something today so that we feel good going to bed.
I
want to get Will J real quick, and you can answer your thoughts on him because I don't know if you mentioned him when we talked about the guards. I mentioned him earlier. He got hurt last year after like 3 or 4 games, but he's been really good, and he came in as a center. So James Daniels intrigues me too, and you might get him on a pretty good deal coming off of injury.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely intrigues me, man. Like, he's a really solid player. If those like medicals, I don't know where he's at with that. That checks out. Yeah.
That might be a thing where the Bengals might want a guy like that to come in for a visit so they can get those medicals before they even do anything else. And guys coming off an injury might be the ones you don't see flying off the board right now as much. Like Kuntz went back to the Raiders for 1 year, $12 million. Well, he's coming off an injury. Well, who would know how he's doing off that injury and already have his medicals? The team he was with, the Raiders. So, like, it makes sense when guys go back. But if they're going to sign, these might be your 2, 3, 4 days from now signings because teams want to get them in for a visit and get their medicals.
Yeah. No, great point bring up by Will there. That's like, yeah. I would be really excited about the Bengals entertaining that for sure. Were you like, I guess, I mean, obviously adding depth is always key. I was kind of a little bit surprised that they were like the Bengals were pursuing Morgan Moses so hard.
We were mentioned how much we were, who knows, and then he got 3 years for $24 million, and it's like, yeah, we definitely weren't going there. I mean, I do think we need another tackle, but it's one of those things like when we, Trent Brown was 1 year, $3 million. I can't see us playing in that range of getting somebody or projected, even though they do end up having to play a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I was surprised that our name was mentioned that as showing interest. But
do we know what other tackle? I do think it would be smart to add another rotational piece at tackle because Orlando's kind of had injuries of back-to-back years. Especially
if you can get somebody with right left versatility because Mims has basically played strictly right. So if Brown's out, you would like a guy that can play left. Mims has had an injury history. You want a guy that can play right too. So having another guy, because you don't want it to have to be Cody Ford like it was last year. I want Cody Ford as my depth piece on the interior more than anything at guard. I don't want him to have to be the one filling in as tackle 3, and that's a concern if so.
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
100%, we're gonna crush the draft. Don't sweat it.
We do every year, Chris.
Every year, we win the draft.
Don't doubt Duke Tobin.
Don't doubt Duke Tobin.
He's never missed a draft before.
No, we have like 3 scouts. What the hell more could you want?
I mean, Will J likes Trent Brown, but like, I don't think the guy did great.
Well, I
He
don't
got
know if he's
hurt.
saying because I said like a Trent Brown because he
Oh,
was supposed to
like-
be that
oh,
guy,
oh,
but he
I
got
gotcha.
hurt, or if he's saying he likes Trent Brown because I think with the
No,
laughing,
because I see the emoji face after it now. It's like the laugher.
yeah. We want a bet like somebody that can go right or left tackle has done it in their career, but can maybe also stay healthy would be nice.
You think that they
Unlike
possibly bring Trent Brown back?
Does he even want to play anymore? I don't know. Like
He was on somebody's podcast
Was
this offseason, and he was talking like he's a Bengal. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought he was a free agent. I had to go look, and I'm like, he's a free agent. So
my guess is no, just because he got injured so quick. Plus, like he was injured and you know what I mean? He wasn't out there getting reps. He's always like, he comes in a little maybe out of shape. Like, because you said you didn't care if he's out there ripping heaters, you know, walking around because he'd be fine when the season
exactly.
And he was getting better, but it's like, you know, you've got to get better in season. That's not ideal for any player in the NFL.
Yeah.
You should be ready when the season starts.
I'm trying to remember. I thought there was somebody else we were talking about before that had versatility, and I was talking about as far as coming to the Bengals, and there's something about Trent Brown. I'm like, I'd rather have them, but I can't. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out who the fuck I was talking about, and I can't remember. Probably Tunzel.
Well, Dale, what do you think? I haven't saw the news on like what the market would for like a Cam Robinson would be right now.
I don't know off the top of my head. I thought it would be maybe decent because like the guys that flew off the board, and it still may be. It may be out of our price range because Dan Moore went off the board and the other Moore guy from San Francisco both went off the board and got 20+ million a year. So he's probably that next tier of what's available. So somebody might still give him 10 to 12. I don't know. Just tossing out a number.
Yeah, that would be starter. I guess he's still kind of starter range.
Yeah.
The tackle free agency class is kind of so yeah, I don't know. We might have to.
And you hope, you know, they did bring back Kirkland, who has some versatility at tackle guard. I know he got injured too. And then who's the kid that had to step up last year and play some off the practice squad? I'm sure he's back this year.
Yeah, on the name. Yeah, I mean,
so I'm just saying, and maybe you're hoping with a new O-line coach, like we talked about with the defensive guys, that they develop these other guys that they feel comfortable enough that they could be a spot start here or there kind of player. But yeah, because I don't think you're just getting it on the free agent market. And unless, you know, but that is a sneaky spot. Holland Pierce is there in the 3rd or 4th round, the giant from Rutgers who fits the body type that we have, you know, with Mims and Brown, whether Scott, the new Scott guy, likes it or not, that same body type, that's what we have. So getting another guy like Holland Pierce could make sense in the draft. So that kid's like 6'8", 340. He's just like the mountains we have, you know.
Yeah. We like those big dudes. I don't know.
We never talk about tackle, but it is a sneaky thing, you know, because it's not out there on the free agent market, and you still kind of do need that third one. It's just it's not a top 2 to 3 round need to me. You hope to get a guy in maybe a Jalen Travis, another big guy from Iowa State. So maybe it is something you draft, but we still need more draft picks. I don't want to do it at the expense of losing a Trey Hendrickson, but if we could trade a Pratt for a 6th, 7th rounder even, you know, and push running back down, which, I mean, you got Pirine, so you don't got to force anything at running back, but I still think we should get one in this deep-ass running back class at some point.
Are there any of the high-end guards that you think could, in a pinch, swing out to tackle?
As in the draft, or?
Yeah, in the draft, sorry.
Well, see, I guess that's the only thing, because I said about taking a guard, but if to backtrack on that a little bit, and I've talked about it, like if a Will Campbell falls to 17 and you take that guy to start at tackle, then I feel good about that. He did it in the SEC for 3 years. Kelvin Banks, same thing from Texas. So if it's one of those guys, I would feel good about it. I'll give another name, Anthony Belton. So he's played tackle at NC State, another huge ass dude, like 6'6", 330 plus. Yeah. And a lot of people think he'll project into guard in the NFL, but he's played tackle in college. So maybe that's another guy. At least he could do it at right tackle. I don't know if I don't think he's got the feet to be on an island at left, but in a pinch, maybe he could do right tackle because he's done it in college. So
Yeah,
that's another name I'll give.
what I'm thinking, if we prioritize defense, whatever, in the early rounds, and that gets pushed down, I could see the Bengals going for somebody that has that positional versatility in like the middle rounds, where you could still, I mean, third, fourth round's not a bad spot, or fourth round's not a bad spot for a guard.
No, not at all.
Tackle, so yeah.
Yep. A swing tackle and even the third, if you ended up with another, let's say you traded down from 17 to mid 20s, you pick up an extra third, you'd feel a lot better about taking a tackle with one of those third round picks at that point because you traded down and gained more draft capital.
Yeah.
So that's a scenario to think about.
Trade down, trade down, trade down.
Has there been anybody sniffing Mike Hilton?
I haven't heard anything on Hilton, but he was supposed to have a big market. And a lot of corners have gone off the board, but it's back to slot corners, right? And maybe people will be right. Where all I did was get that projection that day on Twitter. Remember that he was projected to get $11 million per year. People are like, "You're fucking nuts. He ain't getting 11." I'm like, these aren't my projections, man.
You know, when I'm looking at that Spotrac, it says Mike Hilton $6 million.
Okay, well, they've come down because it literally said more than that. And maybe they're adjusting this as
I guess maybe
agency goes on.
Yeah.
Like his market is now decreased because of all the big deals that are already off the board at corner.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of corners out there that we have talked about on the show. Number one, Stephon Gilmore as a veteran. Kendall Fuller still available.
Yeah. And Christian Fulton was the third one we talked quite a bit about. So yeah, there's still some corners on there, but Hilton's got to be one of the top guys. I feel like at corner.
I mean, it was $6 million. What do you think about Hilton? Bring him back for $6?
I don't know if that's what the Bengals want to do, though.
I don't know either. But
personally,
I like my
$6 million locker room leader, knowing what he can give me off the edge. Yeah, I probably would. At 11
He's
million,
good blitzer
probably
too.
Not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Off the edge as a blitzer, like that alone is valuable. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe he's still going to get signed out there by somebody else.
Yeah, I almost feel like you're a guy that just kind of lets them rattle around in free agency for a little bit, and then come back around towards the whenever free agency the market really cools off, and just hey, if he's there, making him offer and he comes back, I'd be down with that.
The only thing is if they're locked in on Dax Hill being their slot guy, which I don't think that I think he could play it. That's what he played at Michigan. I think he'd be very good there. But to lock in on that with him coming off an injury is a little scary to me,
Yeah.
This is a guy we haven't talked about, but yeah, because he's played tackle, but maybe he's going to make the move, and he has the familiarity with Scott Peters, who was with the Browns under Callahan there. So Jedrick Wills, that's a guy that maybe he should try to move into guard like Becton did from tackle for his long-term future, but spot starter if there's an injury at tackle. Like we were saying, there's not much on that market. Yeah, that's a great name to toss out.
Great. That's a great name to bring up. I was actually looking through the tackles.
Still young, too, with the first-round pedigree. The Bengals used to love that.
He started his career playing really decent. Then he just hit like that injury bug. And then obviously his performance slipped, but you feel like he's a guy that's got a lot of potential. He gets healthy. Yeah, I mean, that could be a really good signing. So another great name to bring up there for sure.
Absolutely, because I don't think we talked about it at all. I have seen that on Twitter floated around a couple times, but then I just kind of forget about him. I keep forgetting about him. And but yeah, I'm glad you brought it up on here because it makes sense with the Peters connection, right?
Yeah.
Just like with TJ Slayton made sense with the Jerry Montgomery connection.
Yep.
Sometimes the obvious move is still the best move.
Familiarity breeds success, as they like to say.
Here we go. We're just cranking out this stuff right now.
Yeah. We're constructing the roster for the Bengals in a way. After
Chop,
I guess,
the son of a bitch, you're just sitting over there being all quiet.
Man, I'm just telling you though. I was looking at Spotrac, and for some reason my computer's acting funny. If something happens and I go out, like I can't click on anything now for some reason. I don't know if it's thinking about it, but like the Spotrac keeps refreshing every once in a while, and I think it's what's locking it up. But I was just looking
linebacker off the board. I'll just mention Cody Barton.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Chop. Sorry, you were looking.
I'm just saying, like, that's what's going on with me. I was just looking to see who's still available and seeing like what's going on here, what we doing, listening to you guys, because I like listening to people talk about football that are smarter about it than me. And y'all or two of them?
Barton got 21 million for 3 years, so that's 15 million that was hitting is starting to come down on the linebackers. Dre Greenlaw's still out there. There was 4 or 5 teams mentioned, and he's coming off an injury, but we were not one of those 4 or 5 teams. But he was somebody I thought the Bengals could be interested in to bring in, and if they were going to move Pratt or release him. But so we'll see. I don't think there's a lot of linebackers left on the market, but.
No, that dried up real fast. Actually yesterday started to dwindle down.
Yeah, most of it was gone yesterday.
Well, that was it Greenlaw or whatever?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, but I've heard he's wanting more than a 1 year, and teams are a little hesitant with the injuries that he's had the last couple of years. And then also, like I said, there's 4 or 5 teams, and we weren't one of them. But the Broncos, I think, were one of them, which could make sense.
What about who's that linebacker? What I get the two mixed up, but from the Patriots to the Falcons last year, and he's a free agent now. It's not Matthew Judon, right? It's
he's more of an edge, but yeah, that is who it is. He's kind of listed as an outside linebacker / edge, but he's a pass rusher. He's still in Atlanta. He's still Atlanta.
Yeah, he's starting to tail off in production though. I don't think he did much last year.
Yeah, and that's why Atlanta was another team for Trey, but then some people are like, well, they're hesitant because they went after Judon and he didn't work out. But then also it's like, well, we do kind of need Trey because Judon didn't work out. So it's
what are the chances the Falcons go knock, knock, knock on Jesse Bates' door and like, hey, we need to restructure that contract. We need a lot of defense because their defense was like stunk last year. So.
Or they say we're going to trade you back to the Bengals for Trey Hendrickson, and we're going to give up a pick. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesse Bates is back.
I'll take it. Give us a high pick. Good
day, Chris.
Are you surprised Javon Holland hasn't signed anywhere yet?
Yes and no, right? Because Morig's gone, Cam Bynum on the safety market. Those guys went and got big deals. He must really be and his projection was like $100 million for 4 years or something.
Yeah,
on PFF.
it was.
And so maybe he's wanting what some of these projection numbers are, and then you got other guys coming in at 3 for 51, and teams are like, I don't want to give you that. So or he's got a huge market. Who knows? You just never know, but a little surprised, yeah, because he was expected to be one of the top guys. He's still very young. I seen some. Ryan. He said, I feel like Becton is going to happen. I could see that Becton come in and put him at right guard. I mean, they brought him in for a visit, but I thought it was going to happen last year because Pollock was the O-line coach when they drafted him to the Jets, and
they took him to eat at the precinct.
I know. Mike Brown can't be happy about that.
No,
he paid for a meal.
Hey, next time take him to the Waffle House and get that steak.
Was there a chance last year he just didn't want to play guard and then he went to the Eagles and they're like, no, you're playing guard because he ran out of options. And now he's like, oh, I want to play guard. Was that a sticking point? Like he wanted to stick at tackle and maybe the Bengals wanted him at guard?
Yeah, you never know. It very well could have been. And then he was like, oh, well, there's nothing here. And then you go to the Eagles too, who just are phenomenal with linemen. So. And honestly, would he have been developed as a guard here under Pollock? Probably not. You get him back now. Let the Eagles develop your guy for a year and then bring him back.
Exactly. It's like, oh, thanks, Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Trey situation, I don't know how much you talked about this. That's kind of getting a little curious. It's like, I don't know. There was the tweet that had mentioned like his team thought that the Bengals could get a first-round pick for him, that they were really confident. And it just seems like I don't know. That just seems weird. Like nothing's really materialized with that today. I don't. What direction do you guys see that heading in?
I have no idea. The one that worries me though is that we're in a holdout again in camp. And it's like because they're nowhere close on an extension, and then the Bengals are like, "Well, you just play for this 16. Will he do it? I don't know. It's hard to turn down $16 million. I know none of us could do that, but we're a lot different than Trey. Like, would he play on that again and just hit unrestricted free agency? Maybe.
I mean, if yeah, like if
at the end of the day, like, we can't work anything out, and they just I hate it for the locker room, right? The biggest thing, you know, that you're in a pissing contest with these guys or this, that, and the other.
Yeah. I mean, that's always something that's tough.
Jamar is
like-
trolling Instagram right now, by the way.
Oh yeah, what's he
Yeah,
doing
like
now?
I can't, I don't see it on there, but people are putting it in our group text about the first one I told you. Now he's got a guy like pointing at his hand, like, give me the money. So
yeah, he's gonna get his money.
oh, he's gonna get his money.
He's
I
gonna get
can't.
his money.
Oh my God! You know what that would do to the fan base is if all of a sudden they announce, well, we were going to do it, but he priced us out with Myles Garrett, and woo!
Yeah.
Oh my God! They'd riot down there at Paycor.
Yeah, that one's got to get done, right? Like that hasn't even been in the conversation.
I mean,
okay,
but
what's going to happen with Trey? What's going to happen with T? Jamar will get done. That's kind of always,
Yes.
you know, Jamar will get done. And then if they screw that one up,
It's probably not going. It's if everybody's thinking to get it done now, it's probably not going to happen until later, like summer. Like almost
Yeah.
everybody's saying summer.
Yeah, Santori's been saying that for a while. Like, you know, it'll be right before camp kicks off that they get it done. And he's got plenty of reasons to wait, too, because the next Micah Parsons right now he can wait on. Does he outget what Garrett just got? Because Parsons gets 41, 42 million a year. And now Chase says, I want 43, 44.
Yeah, he's gonna wait. He's gonna be signed right before camp. So might as well just put that dream to bed. Like he's not. Yeah, he's gonna wait because he knows he's gonna get his money. So
There you go. Kenny Pickett's back in the
Holy
division, boys. Cleveland Brown, Kenny Pickett
Jesus.
traded Dorian Thompson-Robinson and a 5th-round pick to the Eagles. I like Dorian Thompson-Robinson going to the Eagles, even though he didn't look good with the Browns. I mean, I didn't know that Jalen Hurts was going to be great either. They've developed him, you know, to be a better passer. So that's good for Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Super Bowl
honestly.
champion Kenny Pickett will go in there and get that locker room correct. He can flash that fucking ring. Like, what's up, boys? You want to know how to get one of these?
Deshaun Watson and Kenny Pickett, boys.
Hey,
Interesting.
one wears gloves and the other doesn't. One has protection and the other doesn't.
Yeah.
That's
That's
certainly something, man. That is something. I mean, I guess they can say Super Bowl winning quarterback Kenny Pickett.
That's right. Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's got that pedigree, man. He just got him a ring.
yeah. So
That one's funny. I mean,
Chase Young still out there. Joey Bosa.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some DNs out there still. I don't know.
yeah, there's plenty more action to come. You just never know. And will the Bengals give us another 10 o'clock signing? You know?
I always love those because it's like I'm on mountain time out here. So
It's great for you.
yeah.
Oh, well, I work night shift, so I'm okay. Just check
Yeah.
at Twitter. Everyone.
Fuck
That's
you
how you
guys.
boys done. Mountain time is the GOAT for time zones when it comes to sports because the games start at 11 here. So like when I was back in Ohio for the Eagles game, I'm like, fuck, dude, I have a whole day before the 1 o'clock kicks off.
And then the night games, like the big games, like the national championship to watch your Buckeyes, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
It's still early.
Yeah.
Like it ends and it's not 2 a.m. and you're still up all hyped.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty tight. Although I might be moving back to the Midwest end of this year. So
You're going to miss that time, man. You're going to.
I know. Back to 1 o'clock. I guess it is from a different perspective. You can do a bunch of shit before the game start. You can get stuff out of the way, or get more drunk, whatever. But yeah, it'll be different.
All right, fellas. We've been on over 2 hours. You never know. If something crazy pops off, find a way to pop back on for a while. But
We need to have the theme like ring music.
Yeah.
Or the NFL draft. What's that little chime? Ding, like when a draft pick comes in.
Yeah.
well, we actually do have that still from a while back.
Oh, when we do our draft show.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun.
It's somewhere in here. Well, I can't even find it, so maybe I lied.
Probably Derek cleaned it out.
We'll bring it back.
Oh, no, it's just not clicked. Never mind. I had to hit the button here. Let's see if it's still down here. I'm glad this is so entertaining for people watching.
I know. For the millions.
I moved it up to the top. I fucking tricked myself because I moved it up to the top of the music. All right, here it is. Here it is.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love it.
Oh, this is going to get annoying real quick, or it'll just keep repeating.
That's ASMR. That's one thing though with the draft now is like all the picks are announced on Twitter first before ESPN launches them. So
that's why I'm just usually down here refreshing my phone and doing the live show because like, hey, I'm gonna spoil it myself anyways. So yeah, we also still have this graphic like on the clock, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, we're gonna need that here because we're gonna be doing the draft show on the 24th.
Yeah, so we got on the clock and the music, boys. We're set. Yeah. We're set. We're ready.
Are you being on the draft show, Dustin?
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
We got
all
of us. Tyler Kelly's coming. Kieran.
Yeah, I'm excited to.
The Vine's supposed to pop in, so
nice.
Yeah.
We got a good crew rounding out.
Yeah, and these pro days are coming soon too. We'll get a little more testing, so let's go.
I'm excited, man. Dustin, thank you again for hopping on, man. We always love it. It's like another member of the show, honestly, at this point.
That's right.
So,
yeah, it's always love talking ball with you boys.
Hell yeah, we do too.
My day.
Yes, sir. Chop, you're beautiful as always. And everybody in the chat, we appreciate you tuning in. We hope to have more news and more pop-up shows.
Hey, we hope to actually pop up a show here in about an hour because all of a sudden they made some big moves and we're going to just yell about it real quick and get off.
Hell yeah.
All
right.